Hi, everybody. Welcome to FNS Wrestling Podcast, episode 201. A little bit late of a recording session today. I just got back from 7 hours in a college gymnasium coaching your brother's basketball team.
Loser.
You just got done 7 hours of
Nothing.
Whatever you do in this empty house when we're gone.
Nothing.
And we're just talking about you're not hearing super well. You got some water in your ears that you can't get out. So we'll see if you can hear me. I'm loud, so you're lucky.
I can hear. It's just it's lopsided.
It's lopsided?
It's not that I can't hear. It's just I can't hear good out of one side.
Which side's worst? Is the other side fine?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's honestly, this is so bad. It's hard to tell.
Nice. So what else is new? You ordered? Did you just pre-order some stuff?
I have it for later.
Oh, it's for later. So we won't talk about that now, but we will eventually get to reviewing AEW Dynamite, NXT, talk some TNA, some Raw. I don't know if you made any SmackDown notes this week.
I didn't make notes for any main roster. So.
Nice. So I have a little bit. We'll do some trivia. We'll preview Double or Nothing, right? What is happening tomorrow?
Saudi crap's already done.
It's happened because we're recording this on May 25th in the evening.
Also, we're not watching it anyways. So.
And I don't think we're gonna watch it. Are we? No.
You never do.
I don't watch Saudi stuff generally. No.
And I don't care to watch it. Honest. Like if you didn't watch any of the main roster PLEs, I don't know that I would.
Fair. Yes, I'm the anchor.
You know what I mean? Well, it's like it's on, so it's like, well, like I just don't care enough.
Yeah, and I mean, if I hear there was like amazing matches, I'd still probably.
The only thing I'd maybe watch is the Intercontinental Triple Threat, but even then, I'm like, I got spoiled, so it's like,
Of course you did.
Well, it's main roster, so I don't think I'm ever gonna, unless it's like the Rumble or maybe Money in the Bank. I don't think I'm ever gonna avoid main roster spoilers because, like I said, I don't care enough.
Yeah, so you get spoiled on everything, anyways, whether you like it or not.
Well, if I actually don't want to, I'll try. I won't. Yeah. I won't. But
whereas I'm the opposite. I don't care enough. Like still
when we watched Revolution, I didn't because I wanted to see Ospreay Takeshita in its fullest form. But if I want to avoid it, I will. But most of the time, I don't care enough.
Like after we record this, I'll probably go and watch the second half of an NBA playoff game that's like 2 days old, and I still don't know who won. I'm strange like that.
Not in touch.
I guess that's one way of looking at it, but I don't know. I can record everything and enjoy it at my leisure. I don't have to worry too much. But I don't know. You want to get through this kind of quickly because you've got sudden plans, out-of-town friend that you're going to hang out with after this. So I say we can just finish our banter and get into talking about what we do. And that, first of all, is taking a look at some of the week's wrestling news and rumors. All right, so taking a look at the ratings, you've got NXT earning 654,000 viewers, up 13.5%, and a 0.17 in the key demographic, down 5.6. Guess what? Head-to-head against...
basketball.
Good guess, because it was only one this week, and you picked the right one. So NBA Eastern Conference Finals, obviously, that pulled a big rating, I'm sure. Dynamite, 713,000 viewers, up 6.1%, earned a 0.24 in the key demographic, up 4.4, up against NHL and NBA playoffs again. So I guess decent numbers it looks for both shows this week. I don't have too many news stories this week. We didn't talk about it, but
I got a few.
All right. Well, go ahead. Let's do what you got.
MJF reportedly signed a contract extension somewhere around when that whole fiasco was going on with him, where he no-showed that FanFest thing. Then he jobbed to Wardlow. Then he was gone. Then he cut that promo and he was gone for months.
Right.
So sometime around then he re-signed a contract extension. So he's still around.
I think there were rumors to that effect at that time.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly.
And his return's reportedly imminent. I saw some posts talking about maybe around Forbidden Door, but I don't know how reliable it is. So we'll say imminent.
That was my first news story too. The only thing I would have to add on there is it's obviously said to be a big money extension, but they're trying to keep it quiet, I guess, for whatever reason. But it's obviously going to be a ton of money. I think he'll be like among the highest paid on the roster, if not the highest. I think so, right?
I think he warrants it.
Because WWE would snap him up in a heartbeat.
Well, and I think he's just proven to be worthy of that.
I think so too.
Kind of pay.
So did you hear about Eddie Kingston, unfortunately?
What's his injury?
So not only did he break his leg, obviously, from doing that, but
Darby broke his ankle, so that's fine.
So he tore his ACL and meniscus too.
Okay, so that's a little understandable then.
So the problem is he has to wait for the leg to heal before he can get the surgery to repair. So it's not like he can get the knee repaired and recover from all of them at the same time. It's going, what's that, consecutive, not concurrent? You know what I mean? So I guess that means he'll be out even longer, unfortunately.
That sucks.
Yes, it does. Won't return until at least May 2025. So a year.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That sucks.
But I guess he'll come back with
that'll
a
be
huge return.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I could see something crazy for him.
Me too.
For sure. I guess I'll go because I mentioned him, Darby Allin.
Heard of him.
So the story with him getting like back involved is apparently he found out Kingston was unavailable when he was like helping his dad move over and just called Tony Khan offering to take a spot because as a normal person would.
Yeah, I'm okay from the bus hit.
Yeah, Tony Khan like gave him the okay as long as he was medically cleared. So Darby is just a mad lad. Like he voluntarily just.
Hey,
that is dedication.
That's pillar behavior.
That is true. That's
right?
True.
Like
that's something I could see Mox doing.
Right.
Like if he has got time, if Mox
that's
is like.
What I was thinking.
Mox would do that.
Danielson
would do that.
Those
for sure.
kind of people.
So yeah, that's definitely a good look for him. It's just also you're crazy.
Yeah, he is definitely.
He's sporting like nose stuff and he's still limping. Like
he can't be healthy.
He's not 100%.
And it's not like he's going into just like a regular
like we
tag
said,
match.
He's going into
anarchy.
Yeah.
So interesting choice.
He's crazy.
Obviously cleared to go. So we'll see. Reports sticking with AEW. I don't think this is news, but it's in here. Talent are not happy with the way their careers are advancing.
I saw something they're not happy with, like the roster size, because there's
that's fair. But the only reason I say it's not really news is because show me a wrestling company where this isn't true.
Yeah.
At all times.
Like, yeah.
You know
any company. There's someone.
Of the time.
Or even just to keep in AEW, we were talking about Takesha the other week.
Right. So he's one that's public about it, kind of. So anyway,
in some regard, yeah.
The roster is bloated is the term I use all the time. It is. So I don't know what they're going to do about it. They seem to not release often. It's more
they did a bit, but then not a lot.
They're more than not.
And also a lot of them, I think some of them applied to ROH, like Anthony Henry. He's back. So like that didn't even really happen.
My favorite jobber is back. See, someone listens to the show and went, throw him a bone, throw FNS, and then maybe I get him and you get
Tyler Rust.
Right.
Someday, you better do it. Yeah. I mark my words. If he shows up on ROH, I'll watch it.
Whatever, you'd find any company you could.
Anything like major, I will.
Yep.
I'll watch Tyler Rust.
Does he have merch on any of those sites?
He's dropped off the face of the earth.
Really?
Like I'm pretty sure his Instagram's deactivated. Like I haven't seen him do anything since I think he was around ROH back when they were doing the Pure tournament or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I remember him popping up after he got released. But
someone's gonna have to drill down into that.
He's dropped off the face of the earth, pretty much.
Find Tyler Rust.
Trying
to think what his name was when I watched him in.
Didn't you say it was like Ryan Taylor or something?
Ryan Taylor, that's right. Championship Wrestling from Hollywood.
Something like that.
Anyway, sorry, we digress. It's your turn. I only have one more.
US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis is hosting SummerSlam next year, which is adopting the Mania format of 2 nights.
Oh, yeah.
So SummerSlam's going big time. I honestly am surprised they haven't done that for the Rumble, because you could split the 2 Rumbles.
If they think they can fill the building for 2 nights, like I don't think anything's out of the question.
That's true.
Raw, 2-night Raw, if they could do it. Every week it's 6 hours now.
Or like you do like a matinee Raw.
Yeah, exactly.
Something like that, 6 hours a day.
Whatever they can get.
But yeah, so I guess the most stupendous SummerSlam
for sure.
in history.
Definitely. Only other thing I have is, did you hear Will Ospreay calls WWE's use of a certain star appalling?
Ricochet.
Yeah.
I saw.
Sort of his feeling on Ricochet being just the speed champion, right? Like putting this guy into 5-minute matches, a belt that you don't even really acknowledge. Like he doesn't carry it.
Because it's exclusive to Twitter, and they paid. That was Ricochet's thing. He literally said like Twitter paid to have this exclusive thing exclusively on there.
Like the belt will never show up anywhere else?
I'm pretty sure that's what that means.
Interesting.
I mean,
that's taking things literally.
I wouldn't
exclusive.
I wouldn't want it to show up anywhere else because I think it's hideous, but
it's just kind of funny. But anyways, Ospreay thinks he's being underused.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they used to be really similar, and now to look at their respective career trajectories, it's very interesting because Ospreay is just on another level.
Ricochet just hasn't developed that confidence and that charisma.
Well, yeah, because Ospreay, you could argue, was like Ricochet, because like
it seemed not like only their trajectories were similar, right?
Not only in his style, but also like because he wasn't always the promo he is right now. No. He wasn't always the character guy he is right now, and Ricochet still hasn't gotten that.
No,
and also he chose to sign with WWE, so there's also that.
And at that time, he's small and flippy, so
Yep.
that is your identity.
I'm surprised they never stuck him on 205 Live or anything, because he was around during that time still.
Yeah.
So they could have put him there.
They could have for sure. I am done with news, sir.
Last one I had was Sting's son, Stephen Borden. Is reportedly trained to be a wrestler after his involvement in Revolution. He was the one that was dressed as
Awesome.
Wolfpack Sting.
Okay.
He was that one.
Was that the better one? I don't know.
He was slimmer.
Was he? I don't remember
That's
that
helpful.
very much.
So that's neat, I guess.
Well, good for him.
Better than... I'd honestly rather watch him than
sure
Old Man Sting.
He will make it on his own, and it will have nothing to do with nepotism or his father being anybody. It'll just be his own hard work.
When's that ever been the case? I mean, you can make that case for even Orton.
I know, for everyone. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
His name won't help him at all.
He'll
do it on his own.
Camacho.
But anyways, I guess that's it for news. We'll get into our most detailed review every week. That is taking a look at AEW Dynamite. All right, Dynamite. Talk about it.
Dynamite.
I watched it. I was there.
No, you weren't.
I was. Did you know that was another thing? Going back to episode 1 of this, we didn't watch wrestling together that week. I was home at my parents, and you were here taking notes on paper.
Oh, I do remember taking notes on paper.
The very first week, I was at my parents' place.
I forgot we had watched it separately. I do remember taking it on paper.
Possibly the only week we didn't watch together? The very first week, probably, right?
I want to say it's the only time, but then again, 200 weeks or so, I'm not going to remember.
True, but I think Dynamite's been always together.
Yeah. Well, and NXT when we reviewed it.
Yeah.
Like, once I stopped reviewing it, obviously, and
You catch it if you're there.
Yeah, because they, mentally broke me.
Yes. Sorry, I took us off track there.
That is interesting. Honestly, I forgot about that. But I don't... Why were you there?
I don't know what I was doing.
Was that when they were moving?
Maybe.
I would feel like, because
that would
have been like prime pandemic, so it'd be weird for you. Like, and plus, we never go up there. They always come here.
They always come.
So here. I feel like that's when they were moving.
Must have been.
That's the only thing I could think of. Anywho, remember the weird intro for they're promoting the new Mad Max spinoff.
So it was like half normal intro, half movie trailer. Yeah, it was promo.
Weird.
For what was it? Sorry,
it was like that new Mad Max spinoff. Like it was like Furiosa or something like that, or
so it was like a fusion opening. I don't know. I guess it was cool.
It's fun. It's better than like a needless like straight up trailer that I don't care about, or maybe just don't at all.
I would prefer don't at all for sure.
Although this is better than doing a entire match roundup like they did with the
like you're selling time in your opening theme.
Well, it's basically better than the Jarrett Jeff Hardy match that they did to advertise that game.
Well, yeah.
And then they also did the sponsorship with the Sega game, which was it was Omega, Jericho, Ibushi, and Big Show against Callis family. That match ended up being okay though.
Big Show, stop.
Remember he got like slammed on the car or whatever, and then like Ibushi was riding around on a bike.
Oh yeah,
that match.
I do remember
that match was okay though. Actually, I remember like kind of being
Sounds
pleasantly
crazy
surprised
when you describe it.
I remember being like pleasantly surprised. Yeah, just like
the Big Show was not very good though, right? If I remember.
No, but then he got like clotheslined off by Cage, which looked cool though.
Okay.
Because remember Cage was like a sub in for Guevara because he got injured.
Yes.
So, otherwise, why is Brian Cage there?
Right.
Anyways, we open with Will Ospreay and Orange Cassidy versus Trent Beretta and Roddy Strong. Orange Cassidy like lazily playing along with Ospreay's entrance. I thought it was funny because Ospreay's doing like a side thing where like he's like pointing the crowd and they're chanting his name, and Cassidy's like lazily just going like like that. And he even did like he like attempted to do the United Empire like the crowns up, but then he just like kind of gave up halfway through. So I thought that was kind of funny.
And Callis is there with a note, like taking notes in a notebook, right, at commentary for.
I thought it was interesting to note that his guys are the baby faces. The ones that happened ever.
It's weird
because like Ospreay's the only baby face in the faction. Then Orange Cassidy's like
there's some weird stuff going on there.
Yeah, it's all very strange.
Yes, it is.
And then wasn't he back out because he was back out? What were the other? Oh, because Takeshi had a match, right?
Right.
Things started off fast with Ospreay and Strong. They're fighting in the ring, and then Cassidy like ran around ringside to brawl with Trent. Later on, Cassidy gets a hot tag flurry until Trent trips on the top turnbuckle. Strong hits like a gut buster over the top turnbuckle, which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Trent went for that power driver on the stairs again, but Cassidy, and then Ospreay made the save, sends Trent to the barricade. Backbreaker on the apron from Strong, and then Trent spears Cassidy on the floor. Ospreay hot tag ends in handspring double Pele kick, which is cool. Really gnarly looking half and half suplex to Ospreay from Trent, which like Ospreay kind of landed high on.
It was high.
Ospreay connects with cheeky Nando's, that super kick in the corner where like they're kind of like stuck there. And then a power bomb and a middle rope Phoenix splash, and then Cassidy falls with that lazy elbow drop for 2.
I did enjoy that.
Yeah,
made me laugh.
Like Ospreay's going all out with these.
Yeah,
like
and he
thing
just
after
barely
thing.
falls off
for
the
one
top.
thing.
Yeah.
Strong goes for the end of Hard on Cassidy, but the Undisputed Kingdom, which is Tatum Bennett, had
hooray.
The ref distracted. Callis holds Cassidy's leg to save him. Strong takes a Stun Dog Millionaire and an Oz Cutter. Ospreay takes out Tatum Bennett with a Tope Con Hilo to the outside, but then he gets blindsided by Wardlow from behind. Shotgun knee from Trent and the end of Hard from Strong on Cassidy get the win. After the match, we get a beat down on Ospreay and Cassidy. Strong hits Ospreay with the international title and he's busted open. Callis goes to check on Cassidy, then he backs away from Trent, and Trent's got Cassidy in triangle choke on the ramp, and then an end of Hardic to Ospreay, which looked pretty good.
Yeah, second one. Ospreay's first loss? ?
Not really.
No, he's lost before.
He didn't lose.
No, but he
he didn't get
on his record.
Yeah, but
right.
like
okay, no,
it's
notable.
It's like not really. I knew this was gonna happen.
I'm not saying he's getting pinned, but it's technically.
I don't really consider that a big deal because it's like Jay White was undefeated.
It's not a big deal at all.
Undefeated in singles competition until he lost to MJF.
It's just a fact.
Like,
that's all.
I guess, but
I thought second week in a row really hot.
That's
match,
the first
right?
thing I wrote was like 2 weeks in a row we had a super enjoyable tag opener.
Finish kind of convoluted a little bit. The actually Wardlow shot from behind I thought looked solid. And so Ospreay.
It's just
out.
Both of us groaned when he appeared.
Yeah, I kind of had forgotten about him a little bit, and I was okay with that. So I thought really cool match. Bit of
I think that's how I always feel about him, and then I just get disappointed every time he pops up.
Yeah, true. Solid beatdown. It was the first of many of the night. But I thought the blood helped everything.
This one looked better than some of the other ones, and also it was the first, so it's like it's not a fault on this one as much.
And unfortunately, I feel like
I think it was every match this week.
I think
except
it was.
for the women.
I asked at some point.
Actually, no, even the women.
Yeah, I think every single one.
That's crazy.
Stop at AEW. But anyway,
I don't really care, but like at the same time, it's like, come on.
I feel like they have to do stuff like this because doesn't it feel like Ospreay's above this title?
Yeah.
Like he hasn't even really talked about really wanting the title or anything, right? Like it's just kind of
he popped up in the random qualifier thingy,
right.
And then he's got beef with Strong. I mean, I don't care. I think Ospreay would be great with the belt. It's
of course,
just like,
and it's a first step to him.
And I think it's
collecting several. Maybe
my dream scenario, and I talk about it later. Is he holds it for a while, and like I feel like he could do the open challenge really well, and he'd have some sweet matches, and because he hasn't disappointed once. I
would agree.
I haven't even remotely disliked a single thing he's done since he came.
Yep.
So I think he'd do really well with that belt, and my dream is that through that run, he leaves the Don Callis family, and Takeshita gives him his first loss, because that's huge for Takeshita. Gets Takeshita a belt, which Takeshita can do great things with, and I do think that's the perfect spot for him right now, because while I think he's world title caliber, I think I don't think it's quite time, because I think Swerve's time is right now, Ospreay's time is imminent.
Yeah.
I think you could even argue you could put Okada at some point, or Jay White.
I was just
preferably.
Say, when are you gonna say Jay White?
Jay White.
I knew it was coming.
But so
Okada for sure.
My dream scenario is that
returning Omega.
Omega too. Yeah. My dream scenario is that Ospreay holds it for a bit, because I don't not to spoil my picks, but Roddy can't be the one to hand him his loss. His first actually, it can't be Roddy.
Even if there's shenanigans galore, I
don't think Roddy should. No offense to Roddy, but A, it's not really going to do much for him. B, this group is a waste, so I don't think Ospreay should lose to any of them. C,
unless you want to be him losing here technically in this match was the start of it, so people are desensitized, but not really.
I don't think so.
He
I don't
was
think
clobbered
it's worth
on the ramp, and his partner got pinned.
Yeah, so I think picturing it for Takeshita, I think that's huge, because he's still on the rise, and he already lost to Ospreay, so it'd be kind of getting his win back as well.
Right.
And I think it would elevate him. And for Roddy, it's Roddy's awesome, but
no offense, Roddy. Love Roddy. Big Roddy supporters here.
Love Roddy, but I feel like he's
come
on the latter stretch of his career, and also his group sucks.
I mean, he's in a humongous group of people that are not Will Ospreay.
Yeah.
Like, that's the truth.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? That's a very, very large group.
Yeah.
Like
so
the biggest group possible, basically.
I think this is to heat him up for his loss, obviously.
Yeah.
Well, I think the choice to have Ospreay go for this title is a little suspect.
I don't feel like he needs it.
I don't think he needs it, but he's winning it.
I think
for
so.
sure. But anyways, I think I liked last week's opener a little better.
Me
That's
too.
not to take anything away from what we got here. I thought it was still good, and in ring wise, I like everyone in this match, and Ospreay especially doesn't half-ass things. I thought it started really strong with Cassie. Like Cassie just running to fight Trent got the pace going really fast.
I did write started out hot, but no specifics.
It did. A lot of good action this one, and while like the preview pay-per-view matches and a tag match trope is overdone, doesn't mean it doesn't produce quality stuff.
Not
like this is good.
Yeah, it's not my favorite thing
It's not
either,
like
but...
it is a repeated trope, but it produces good things sometimes.
But remember after, like, what was Callis doing? He basically let Ospreay take a beating, and then we both thought he was going to go over and help Cassidy.
So
and he just left.
The thing was with that was, it was weird him leaving Cassidy, but then I was like, oh, he's checking on Cass, or so he left Ospreay because he's checking on Cassidy. I was like, oh, he's checking on his new prospect ahead of his so-called, the guy he literally calls his golden goose.
Right.
But then Excalibur did note on commentary he was backing away from Trent, so I think it's excusable. Because I do remember Excalibur explicitly saying
he was going to approach
he was like checking on Cassidy, but then like Trent was beating his ass, so then he's like staying away from Trent. So Excalibur did say it to defend them.
Maybe camera was supposed to pick up that.
Camera work was it's
I don't know.
Okay. Sometimes we're suspects. So I'm giving them the benefit.
In the moment,
of the doubt
I'm like,
there.
why is he doing nothing to help anyone?
That's fair, but I do remember Excalibur saying it, so I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt there. Yeah, or Will Washington or whoever. No, Will Washington would be more historical.
No one mentions Will Washington more than us.
Yeah,
I firmly believe that.
That applies to so many people.
You
like
should
him.
Reach out to him on social media and say, guaranteed, no other podcast that refers to you more than
There's him. There's Tyler Rust.
Yeah.
Who else is like? I don't know. Is there any like specific mentions that we always do? I feel
I'm
like
sure there are.
Pete Dunne was always a thing.
Like
when
the
he
FNS
was Butch.
bingo card.
Like it's
we're gonna
Tyler
say
Rust, Will
things.
Washington. I think you could have made a case for Pete Dunne back when he was Butch.
Pete Dunne rants for sure.
Pete Dunne rants. Baszler.
Yeah.
Baszler's one for mostly me, but I think also you.
It might be coming up today, quite possibly.
That's true.
The normal Baszler rant.
I feel like there's some for you too. Like I can't think
of
it because I know me. Like, well, A, I know myself, but B, I feel like I'm more like prolific with it.
I know there's ones I have. There has to be.
I'm not. If you think of something, like
I will. Yeah,
shout it out,
somebody let us know.
It's not coming right now. It's just even if like something pops in your mind, like
that
I'm thinking like
mention.
Like I know you really like Pac, for example, but like I don't think that's like unless he's there.
Pac.
If he's not there, you don't always bring him up. You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking because I bring up Tyler Rust like at the drop of a hat. You know, something like
3 times this episode already.
Yeah, exactly. See, like I can just pull it out of my ass.
We're 23 minutes in. Yeah. That's a very good ratio.
That's like almost. I mean, if I don't for the next 10 minutes, that would be on average once per 10 minutes.
That is how math works. Very good.
Put my markup.
I like how we're trying to be fast, and we've probably had more digressions than normal. That's fun. Go ahead.
Next, we get a promo from the Elite. They're walking down hard with like posters, not posters, banned.
Right.
Same difference. Nick says Darby's banned from the building for his attack last week, and Matt says he's not allowed in for the sake of workplace security. He talks about Darby getting hit by a bus and tells their security to not let him in. Sanjay Dutt comes in, thanks them for taking care of problems, talks about Darby not being a factor, FTR getting taken up by the Righteous, because I guess they set up bounties, because it was like, I think it was on Collision, it was Danielson FTR against the Righteous and Archer, and I assumed the Righteous didn't win, but they
safe
beat the tar out of him after, because it's a bounty. So Satnam Singh is facing Danielson tonight.
In the main event. That's egregious.
Great Kali.
Offensive.
He says Satnam will bring Danielson tonight. Then he talks about the money, and he did an unnecessarily over-the-top laugh. I thought most of this was fine. Didn't add much for me, but wasn't bad. I did not like Sanjay here, though. He was too
weird.
Much.
I put Sanjay Dutt sighting. Yeah, rare.
His laugh was like comically stupid.
So this is just the weekly segment where these guys abuse their authority, and it feels like it's in the same spot even.
Yeah. This one was like...
It's fine. Whatever.
Like,
it is what
I would say it was harmless, because like I don't think
harmless is good term.
I don't think it added a lot of value, but I also don't think it was like hurtful to anything, or it was like a detriment to the show. It was just kind of there.
or too long for, and
and
like
it was just like that. It was quick, right?
Fine.
So it's like I don't have a lot of thoughts on that.
Exactly.
Next we hear from Bang Bang Gang,
We
Bullet
do.
Club Gold, whatever you want to call it, best entrance in the game.
And I enjoyed they went and got
they
a
got
wagon
the Bang Bang wagon.
to put all their
I saw
belts
some
in.
promo on Instagram that they
I thought it was funny.
They have like because they have 9 belts.
Right. That's crazy.
They have 3 sets.
A wagon's necessary.
Because they have the ROH belts that they won. Then they have the pink Acclaimed Trios belt for some reason still. And then they have like the stock Trios belts.
Right.
See, to me, I'd be okay with it, like if they had the Trios belts and the ROH belts, because that's like the 2 belts are unified. To me, having the pink belts is like, why are those there? Yeah. That's what's weird to me.
Too many belts.
But they have like a wagon they carry to like roll the belts down the ramp, but then they bring them in the ring, or like I did like a solid touch of the promo was during the promo each of them were holding a different belt.
Right.
Like I think White had the stock belt. I think Austin had the pink one. Colton had the ROH belt.
Of course, you noticed that and remembered it.
Well, I remember like Austin dropping the belt once and then picking it back up. Anyways, White talks about how when they come down the hall, you run, but Pac chose to just stand there, and that was his first mistake. His second mistake was sticking his nose in their business after White's match with Zukar Rocky Romero. And his third mistake was provoking them by telling them to make him care. Pac appears on the Tron saying they did give him what he wanted, and he can't be mad because he did provoke them. And he says now he'll introduce them to his amigos. Death Triangle make their entrance. They're back.
My shirt is relevant.
Phoenix is jacked.
Yeah.
He was like flexing in the tunnel and the traps.
Yeah, he looks good.
Traps. They rush the ring for a brawl. Death Triangle clear the ring, and Pac essentially just makes a challenge for Double or Nothing.
Who are they in the rankings? I don't know if the rankings exist, and Death Triangle certainly didn't exist on the rankings.
No, because this is them coming back.
I'm just joking. I thought Jay White sounded awesome. Pac sounds great, and it's super different styles, right? Like very different speaking styles. I like both of them a lot, and just seeing Death Triangle back is awesome because
I forgot like how
they should be a fixture in this division, and this division should be more prominent.
I really like their entrance. Like I think, and also another reason why the tunnels are good because that entrance is not without the tunnels. Like
it's a good entrance.
You're not doing it without the tunnels,
and should be an awesome match we get out of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, quality segment. I thought I always really enjoy White's promos. His style is unique, and I love his delivery. I think I've seen people who don't.
I've seen it too,
and I don't understand.
People don't. I guess it's just one of those that's not for them. I don't know.
I think he's awesome. I love the way he speaks, and it's unique to me. And I think just like he's really good at walking the line between serious and like kind of like the joking around prick kind of like, which is what the group does.
And I would suggest, much like Ospreay, it wasn't always that way. He wasn't a natural at it.
But he's so natural. I love his unique style. And I thought my favorite part was the confusion on the pronunciation of Pac. Made me chuckle every time because we once had that struggle too.
Yes.
And also, just I thought like the way it came off, I thought was really funny. Like just again, the way they cut promos, I really enjoy it, and White especially. White's great, no debate. I don't know what people's deal is, but
I know.
Whatever. Much like White, I love Pac's delivery and everything. He's also got a captivatingly unique style. Like just the way he speaks, it's like it gets my attention me
all the time.
And like especially with Pac, like I think White's got his own style, but for me, part of what Pac makes Pac cool is his word choice, like just and like how deliberate he is sometimes, just the way he's just really great. It's
I love
awesome. Pac. This got us where we all knew it would be, though. I'm happy to see Death Triangle back. I love them. I forgot how cool their entrance is with the 3 of them, like spotlight separately, then they come together. Doesn't hit the same as the tunnels, so that's great. Hype for this match. I love both these factions, and I remember you said it's a great spot for the Guns, especially.
Yeah, so man, they're getting like. Because we're fans of the Guns now, and this is a cool opportunity for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, the rest of them are big enough, right? So, for the Guns especially, yeah, for sure. Next we get Hook versus Brian Keith, entrance for the first time, and versus Katsuyori Shibata in a 3-way FTW Eliminator.
I did say Keith gets an entrance, and Jack is happy for him.
Because I've literally
we've seen him multiple times.
We've seen him many times, and I don't think I've ever seen his entrance once. Like, this has to be the first time I've seen his entrance.
So good for him.
Yeah,
he's super interesting because he's so different looking.
Yeah, like the moniker of the bounty hunter is, but
and the pants like up to his nipples and the whole he's kind of small.
Why isn't he in the main event against Danielson? There's literally a bounty on Danielson.
Mm-hmm. He's not. He has one job.
That's a missed opportunity.
It is.
That is a missed opportunity. Plus, I think Brian Keith versus Bryan Danielson would be kind of cool.
Although, if you've noticed, he's never beaten anyone. Although, I guess it's not. You don't have to beat him, just hurt him.
You have to hurt him, and I feel like he's got stiff shots. So
I do like Keith.
I would argue you could like switch things around. Maybe like you put this in the middle of the show because I think the opener's well placed, and then you put Swerve and Nick Wayne in the main event, give Swerve the last spot, and you make that match longer. That's how you like reshuffle.
Certainly, things. Pretty much any choice. I don't know how Suttonham sing. I do, I guess, because it's a spectacle.
Like what I'm thinking is you keep the opener, you don't change anything. So I think that was probably my favorite match. Then like somewhere in the middle of the show, probably. You put Brian Keith and Danielson, and that's like the bounty, and you have Darby return there, I guess. Which in the middle of the show, I guess it doesn't work, but like I'm just saying. Because I don't think it's a main event match.
Yeah.
Either way, whether it's Brian Keith or Satnam, it's not a main event thing.
I agree.
And like Darby coming out, it's not like it's his return from last week where I think that being last made sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you had to pretty much.
So I feel like this week you could put in the middle of the show, and I think last you put Swerve and Nick Wayne, give them some more time. Because didn't they main event their first match, right? When Nick Wayne debuted. That was the main event, I'm pretty sure.
I think you're right.
So you do that again. You just give them more time. Then you end with Swerve and Christian brawling in the parking lot. Like that, I think that would work. So
you should be in charge.
And then
hire him, AEW.
This sounds crazy, but maybe you take out the Takeshita match because it really wasn't anything.
Imagine you could just work from home booking wrestling shows.
I'd do that.
That'd be your dream job.
I would have given Takeshita something better to do than this. I wouldn't, and I'll talk about this later, but I wouldn't even change who he's facing. I think Seidel is good, but he didn't really do anything.
No.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that.
Yeah, we will.
There's like a choke chain where I think like Shibata had Keith and Hook at him, and I think like Keith like dropped down to do a jawbreaker, and they both released or something like that.
Yes, there was.
There's various suplexes from Hook and Shibata. Keith hit Diamond Dust in the corner, then he gets hit with a PK from Shibata. Ushigoroshi to Keith from Shibata. Shibata locks him in a figure four, which they called like a heel hook or whatever. It was a figure four.
I don't remember.
It was a figure four, which is weird for Shibata, just because
heel hook is usually just the part before you sit down and hook your
own because like the way he like twisted around like to hook the legs, it was a figure four.
Like the first part of a figure
four
hook,
it's usually you just like wrap your legs around their leg and like kind of like grab hook in their heel, right? But
not just a clever name, folks.
Juge.
Was
this the match where someone got juged, or was that? No, that was.
I probably made a note of it.
It was probably O'Reilly.
Sure. Yeah, probably.
O'Reilly,
most likely in that match.
O'Reilly does a good juge. But anyways, finish comes when Shibata locks him in a figure four. Hook gets him in the red room at the same time, so Keith taps to a double submission. Hook and Shibata both win, because apparently that's how that works.
Yeah, apparently.
After the match, Jericho said this makes his job harder, says he's proud of them. But he's just getting started. 3-way FTW rules match. He's going to walk out the champion. Jericho is not good. I don't like him.
I'm deja vuing NXT with the whole both of you win, and now it's a triple threat.
Yeah, because it's
very funny. Same thing happened
2 nights in a row. Yeah, I remember seeing that on NXT and then seeing it, and I was like, they just did that.
As you're summarizing it, I'm like, wait a minute. I remember it slightly different than
literally 24 hours before. I mean, probably not on your. Actually, maybe even on your viewership, depending on when you watch both.
Right. I was within 24 hours for sure. So I don't know. I thought that this was like a slow paced triple threat, and now you like see why.
I will sound like a broken record on the show. It felt too short.
And you see why Keith was in it, right? It was just short, nothing memorable.
You could say the same thing for Josh Briggs on NXT.
And I thought that Jericho took way too much time to get to a result we knew.
Yeah, and his just like his weird pandering, like it was
almost as long as the match just to go. We all know it's going to be a triple threat, so just get there.
At least he didn't botch it like Oba.
Correct. Which I still haven't heard anyone else talk about or write about.
Something's flying under the radar.
So I don't think this was
bad. I don't think it was bad, but it wasn't great.
Right, I agree.
I think it was fine, and it was too short. Like there's not a lot of substance here, and I like all three of these guys in the ring. I think especially Shibata, I've become a fan of. I enjoy just like you can just throw him in a match, and I'll be like, yeah.
Yeah, he's cool.
I think Shibata's great.
I'm glad you like him.
The wrestler.
It's always one of my favorites, right?
He's the wrestler. Nickname. I think that's kind of funny just because it is Shibata. Like Shibata's just plain Shibata.
He is.
And I think that's
straightforward, black tights, like, yeah.
Yeah, there's really nothing to him.
He is the wrestler.
I'm sure WWE Tribalists will have a field day with, but...
The sports entertainer.
Yeah, but I just like Shibata.
Me too.
It felt like we came back from commercial break and then we got the finish to this a minute later.
We did, because all they were trying to do is get to the triple threat. Like, they could have done this in a segment.
I think
they could have argued.
We could have cut one match and like have expedited things a little, or like, why can't we just have had some sort of put like this eliminator on Collision so it has more time, and then you stretch out Takeshita's match here, or don't put Satnam Singh in a match.
This felt unnecessary for sure.
Honestly, don't put Satnam Singh in a match. That's your solution here. Actually, even if you have extra time, don't put Satnam Singh in a match. Don't just do anything else.
You didn't love it, eh?
It's not. I don't even think it was the worst thing ever. I just don't ever want to see Satnam Singh.
Yeah, I'm not. He wasn't a draw for me either, but
it's just I know he's not good. It's like seeing Omos. He's like Omos.
He's better than Omos, maybe? I don't know. Similar, I guess.
That's like saying Dana Brooke is better than Omos.
No, Obafemi, that's for sure.
Obafemi is actually kind of good.
He is.
I didn't love Jericho's promo after either. Sounded weird. I don't like his gimmick still. Make him go away, please.
Took too long.
And also that too. We got a Willow Monet package. Willow talks about how she represents AEW in the New Japan Strong Women's Title Tournament. Every time I type that, like I type New Japan, like the acronym, as it obviously it's all caps, but then Strong is technically also all caps, so it feels like I'm supposed to shout it.
Oh, Strong's all caps? Oh, is it? I didn't know.
It's like New Japan Strong,
right?
Like that. Hopefully that didn't sound horrible. And how she beat Monet, as we're getting highlights of that match playing. We also got highlights of Monet's debut at Big Business. Just to remind you of that.
Yep.
And Willow's win from the same night, which was actually a really good match with Riho. I remember really liking
Willow's
that.
Sweet.
In a women's main event too.
Oh yeah, it was Riho.
Yeah.
That's
what made it cooler too. It is nominated for Women's Match of the Year right now because I need to rewatch the Mania ones, and also just because that one pleasantly surprised me.
Yeah, it was good.
Anyways, we also got highlights of various promos spliced together with supporting clips from elsewhere. It's just general stuff.
Yes.
It was a solid, well put together package. Puts things together nicely. Not much new, but it was good.
I had a straightforward summary for sure, and I remember my instincts because it started out talking about Willow, and then when it switched to like summarizing Monet's, my instincts were to grab the remote, and I didn't, but my instincts were to push the skip 30 seconds. I was like, "Ooh, that's not good." Like, oh, cool, Willow stuff. Oh, it's Monet, skip.
I think we've been saying like it is still so funny to me, the contrast between her and Okada.
Yes,
because
stark.
I was like borderline. I don't want Okada.
Yeah, and totally fine with Monet. Other than they don't use the women's division.
But like
properly.
we were thinking, like she could help the women's division,
right? And
it's just like she's kind of been adequate at best.
Does it feel like they brought her in too early? Like if she couldn't wrestle until now, like I just think there's too much time.
To me, I think it's kind of like Punk and WWE. Like they didn't have him wrestle between November until the Rumble, and then obviously he got injured. But like, and feelings aside for Punk, they just didn't have him wrestle for weeks until the Rumble,
right?
To me, it just gets kind of stale because you can only do so much.
Yeah, I agree. And she's not.
So I think for sure.
And she's not a super dynamic, engaging promo. So
not
it's
right
not
now.
Like I'm looking forward to it every week.
Maybe if they had heel turned her, then it's different. But
yes, correct.
Okada's been fantastic.
Agree.
Speaking of Okada, they did a quick ad for the Bucks Reebok pumps.
Oh right.
I'd almost get those just because wrestling shoe funny to me.
Yeah, that's funny.
If I see them, I will consider it.
I had a Reebok pumps back in the day, not the famous expensive ones.
I don't know how much I'd wear them because they're definitely not my style, but it's more so just like I think it's a funny.
You display them.
So I'd like to do the funny
and get them to sign them.
That I would do actually. Yeah,
you would.
Takeshita Mox package. Takeshita highlights and his attack on Mox last week. Mox sound bites with some other clips. Solid stuff. We gotta be building to a Takeshita win here. After that, and he loses the title match to Mox, he needs to win some other title. Preferably Ospreay's title.
Yeah, these segments are reminding me that the Double or Nothing card is looking pretty good, actually, right? Yeah. Like it's shaping up nicely. So it's nice
I
to
think
get little
you
reminders.
Pointed out to me is like this being an eliminator really telegraphs the result, which I'm okay with.
I think. I mean,
if it's not an eliminator, I would like. If Mox wins, I will be annoyed. Not because I don't love Mox, because Mox is my boy. We all know that.
Yeah.
But because then make it a title match for Takeshita's sake. Because like Hobbs got picture this. If Takeshita loses, why did Hobbs get a title match and not Takeshita? Like, does that? No offense to Hobbs, but like you know what I'm saying.
True,
right?
But are they trying to keep the stink of can't win the big one off Takeshita? But couldn't you just say eliminators? I don't know.
Well, like I feel like even if Takeshita, like, okay, if he wins the eliminator and doesn't win the title, that's still not winning the big one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like if he has to win here, because if he doesn't win, then like he should have just gotten a title shot to make it feel bigger for him. Mm-hmm. Like he's worthy of a title shot over Hobbs. Hobbs didn't and plus
sure.
that match sucked too. So
it did, but apparently he was hurt.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Because that match is on my list of
get well soon for Hobbs.
Yeah.
Anyways, next we get Takeshita versus Sydal. Deadlift brainbuster from Takeshita.
Nice.
Dropkick to the knee, low DDT from Sydal. He misses a dive, blue thunder bomb from Takeshita. Takeshita went to the big forearm to kneeling Sydal for the win. Post match, he yanks him in a German suplex, continues the attack. Mox comes in with the mic, decks Takeshita. He'll see you at Double or Nothing.
Yeah, pretty much a squash match. One decent flurry from Sydal. And
honestly, it disappointed me, if anything.
I'm different. I'm happy because Takeshita should beat Sydal in 2 minutes. Like the Takeshita
fair,
I want should not be in a 12-minute match with Sydal.
The other half of me is like, I want to see Takeshita in a sick match.
And was the forearm as finisher to Sydal as well? Kind of like he doesn't even need.
I do think while I do say his forearms are killer, he does have match-ending quality forearm strikes. I don't want him to win with those opposed to the Wagamama because I think the Wagamama looks awesome. Like the running knee with the knee pad down. His knee's deadly. You have to use it.
I'll get to my current least favorite finisher when we talk NXT.
Jada Parker.
Yes. How did you know?
Because doesn't she use a basement clothesline or something like that?
No.
Or what was it?
It's called the teardrop hip check or something. And it's just...
Oh, it sounds like Naomi's
It's
thing.
like a hip attack, but to her in the middle of the floor. In the middle of the ring. It doesn't...
So, Tony Storm's, but 10 times less effective?
Yeah.
Honestly, if Tony...
And I like
Tony
Jada Parker.
Storm's you could get away with as a finisher.
Tony Storm's looks sick.
Yeah. I don't know why I guess Jada Parker. Because I remember seeing her win with a clothesline, I think, when she faced Rizzo.
Well, it was probably better than the hip thing.
Probably.
And I like her. She's cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, sorry.
Takeshi's knee is awesome, so always win with that. But yeah, I remember... Okay.
Here we go.
I promise this is on purpose. Later. But this reminds me of the one time after Diamond Mine debut.
Oh, here we go.
And Tyler Rust faced Bobby Fish.
Take a drink.
I remember
everybody.
it was a really short match, and he won with a roundhouse kick.
Yeah.
Which was weird. Because remember he had that flipping snapmare thing he did? And that was kind of cool.
It was.
It was what was it called? A full circle or whatever, because it's something in yoga or something like that. You know what I mean?
Oh, you're probably
something
right.
like that, though. You know what I mean?
Because he was a yogi.
You know what I'm saying, though, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. But anyways, I remember one time he just won with a roundhouse, and I was kind of like, what the hell?
I think the Soul Burners was his tag team.
That's a cool name.
And his partner was a skinny, he was this super yoga guy.
Mike Sydal?
I forget. I'll have to look it up. You go on.
Anyways, Bucks again. They know Darby's watching. He's banned as they continue handing out flyers, swerving in their seat. They ask if he's seen Darby since they know he hates him. He says he hasn't. Tells them his match is next and to hit his music as he leaves. Again, fine. Doesn't add a lot.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the same as before.
My favorite part, I think, was Swerve sitting at their desk, right? Which was kind of like a power move. And I hope
gets him kind of some heat back from before.
But yeah, it was another one of their...
Because they kind of pulled one over on him with Christian.
They're the authority and they're going to abuse it. Sort of things.
Yeah, and not in a way that's too over the line too, because people get barred from buildings. So it's pretty standard. So it's not too overbearing on the show. I find.
I agree.
It's these two short segments and then the main event, which I thought was fine.
You know me, I don't love them, but they don't. They're so quick and they're spread out. It's fine.
And it's not like MJF where he was in by the half point of the show, he's in 6 things already.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then we get Swerve Strickland versus Nick Wayne, which the role reversal here is crazy from last time.
Yes.
Considering, the Buddy Wayne Academy invasion.
That's right.
Just the role reversals in less than a year
He's a babyface now.
And Nick Wayne's the heel.
Yeah.
That's the funny part.
Welcome to wrestling,
literal
everybody.
babyface Nick Wayne is...
Literal babyface.
I remember, what was it? The guy in NXT UK, Kenny Williams, remember he had a beard? And he turned heel and went literal babyface and we kept making fun of him. I didn't hate him.
Who was he in a super long feud with?
Remember it was the Tiger Turan guy?
Oh, right.
And he was
actually who?
Amir Jordan, because they used to team. And then but we never got a payoff to that because
it died out.
Yeah. But I remember he turned heel and became a literal babyface, and it was so funny. He was solid though, wasn't it? His thing was the scum or something like that. You know what I mean?
He was doing some sort of edgy thing.
It was some scum. Some scum was part of his gimmick. I don't remember how.
I can't remember exactly.
I remember he was solid though.
Yeah, we found him enjoyable.
Yeah. He looks kind of like Dar. Not completely, but a little bit.
No.
Anyways.
Oh yeah. I could see that.
What do you mean? What do you mean know him? What other Dar is there?
Fair.
Name one other Dar you know. You can't. The only thing I can think of is the villain from the Marvels, and that was horrible. Anyways, Swerve backdrops Wayne back into the ring, then re-enters the rope step dropkick, which I thought was cool. Apron PK from Wayne, and then he went for moonsault the outside. Swerve caught him on his shoulder, really clean. Really clean.
If A, you don't see that catch very often,
but like
B, you don't expect it from Swerve. Yeah,
I think between this and deadlifting Cage in that match, Swerve's got some underrated power game that we just don't know.
For sure. Absolutely.
Because like, even though he's beefed up since like NXT, he still doesn't look that like big. You know what I mean? So I think he's got some underrated strength for sure. It's like kind of seeping through. It's like whenever MJF would do something like super athletic, like backflipping or something, it's like, oh, he can do that.
Exactly.
You know?
Oh yeah, he would mix that in.
MJF like sprinkles that in, you know what I mean? Like I swear once MJF did like that top rope flip outs about the Osprey's done a bunch of times. Yes. I swear he's done that before.
Yep.
That's 2 MJF mentioned, or 3, I guess, if you count the news.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. Anyways, Nick turned that around into a DDT though. So that was cool. Back suplex on the apron from Swerve. Swerve stomp on the floor from the apron. Roll through into a code red for 2 from Wayne. House call from Swerve wins again. So I like that because, you know, if you know me, you know I like a good house call.
You do.
I think it looks the best. And plus, Nick Wayne gets some nice whiplash on it. Like,
if you like it so much, Fallon Henley's dishing him out over on NXT, okay?
Swerve just does it.
This week even.
Luchasaurus attacks Swerve from behind, then chokes him in the corner. But Swerve low blows him while Christian checks in on Nick. And then Swerve chases him around ringside, kicks Luchasaurus along the way. I couldn't tell if it was a house call or not, but like kind of like he took a sec to kick him while he was down.
Mm-hmm.
Literally. Christian hijacks a car to get away, but he gets cut off by Nana in another car. Swerve pulls him out of his car, sends him in the side of a semi, then into the car.
Carjack Jones.
Yeah. DT on the car from Swerve. Then he goes for a concerto on the car hood, but Christian avoids it and runs off. I find it funny that I'm still like, because you know how you get used to names eventually after a while?
Yeah.
Not once have I adopted Kill Switch. I still go Luchasaurus. True. Even though like
I'm like more than 50-50 on Copeland now. I started out
Copeland, I'm full on like
I'm most of the way there.
I've been indoctrinated, but like it's Luchasaurus. He's Luchasaurus. It's not even like I don't even think Kill Switch is the worst name ever because I think when they did it, it made sense for Christian because he was like, you know, berating him and like, you don't deserve that name. You're going to be named after my thing.
Yes.
So I don't even think it's the worst name ever because like I hated Butch more, and even then sometimes I acknowledge Butch. But
I just find it awkward that it's his name and his finisher's
that's
name.
Part of it for me.
Yeah.
And also just because I love the name. I think Luchasaurus is awesome.
You do.
Anyways, that's a digression.
So I guess this was different because it was only an attempted post-match attack because
that is true.
Swerve was one step ahead of them, which I like.
Yeah. Yeah, Swerve gets out on top here.
The match was pretty good. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought it was good, but like it wasn't as good as their first match. No. I thought that one was good, but Nick Wayne, you can still tell he definitely knows what he's doing despite how young he is. Again, for sure. 2 years my senior is crazy.
And this was clearly to get to the aftermath, right? Was at least as much of this.
I could see sometime down the line, maybe if Swerve's a heel again, you run back this feud like with babyface Nick Wayne, and Nick Wayne beating Swerve, like let's say on a pay-per-view, is a big deal because you can make the argument that in AEW, or like I guess in AEW, like Nick Wayne hasn't beaten him on a big stage yet.
True.
So I think that's a story to tell down the line for sure.
Yeah, they need to heat Wayne up a little. I'd like to see more.
I think that would be like that could be a breakout win for him at some point. Maybe not when Swerve's champion, but just like I could see that happening like a year or so.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yep.
But anyways, normalize winning with the house call. That's what we like to see. It's my favorite finisher of his. Although I will say a good JML is pretty gnarly too.
Absolutely.
Or big pressure is what they call it, but I still go JML.
Big pressure, really?
Because that's what his theme song's called.
Okay.
So that's what that is. I don't even know what JML is, but I just go with that. Anyways, solid match. I wish we got more like the other matches, but I thought it was good for what it was. Nick Wayne's good. He'll only get better too. Like it's crazy how young he is because like they'll have him for a while if they want to keep or if he wants to stay.
Yep.
Easy win for Swerve. The post match was solid. I thought Nana cutting off Christian's escape was good. Like Swerve was one step ahead at every turn.
That's what I like.
So I like that, and it was a solid go home angle.
Yeah, it was.
Next we roll right into Malachi Black versus Kyle O'Reilly, which would have been sweet back in the black and gold days.
It would have.
But love both of these guys. So this is
still
nice.
Pretty sweet, to be fair.
Yeah. Forgot how much I enjoy Malachi's solo theme because usually we hear him with House of Black. So I like it.
It is cool.
Ojin
Suits him perfect.
Yeah, I like it. And because he hasn't a singles match as much. So
no.
I think this might be the first one we've seen in a while because Collision, Rampage,
doesn't exist to us, basically.
Nope. O'Reilly with some strikes, and he went for roundhouse, but Black took him down with a fast leg sweep, which I thought was really good, just because like he dropped down and rolled really fast, so just like it was like a snap impact kind of thing. Series of strikes followed by snap German and the KTFO from O'Reilly for 2, which is like when he does the axe kick rolling elbow. So I like that. He goes for armbar or Juji Katami, if you will.
Yep.
Tries to juge him, but Black's blocking it, so he switches to an ankle lock, which I like because I know one of O'Reilly's moves used to be like an Juji Katami ankle lock hybrid, so he switches to a full ankle lock, which he does lock in until Black counters out. After a strike exchange, I really like this because it was sudden. It didn't feel like anticlimactic, it just felt like kind of sudden. Black like faked a front kick and then hit him with the Black Mass, which I think they call the end, but it's always Black Mass for me because I thought that was a cool name.
It was.
But just like it caught me off guard too, so I thought that was really cool. So Black gets the win, good for him. Light trickery, then Black gets drenched in red viscous liquid. I saw some version of this where I think someone altered it so that the liquid was brown.
Nice.
It honestly kind of grossed me out. It kind of grossed me out because I was just like, that's nasty. That's something like WWE would have done in like the naughties.
Yeah, that's 100%.
I swear they did like, didn't they do something where like Eddie Guerrero sprayed Big Show with like
sewage?
Didn't Cole call it like raw human sewage or something like that?
Yeah, was it from a truck?
Yeah. It was like the Austin thing with beer, except sewage or something like that.
An angle with the milk. That was cool.
Yeah. Copeland appears on the Tron. See Copeland. And he says, "Be careful what you wish for." Then he does evil laugh and see you soon.
So sorry. I'm starting at the last part first. Where did the mist effect thing go? Where he's all like,
maybe this is
the
after
evolution
like, he was
of
starting
that?
to like go like kind of.
And now, so is the story that Malachi Black created a monster? Like he's getting what he wants? Because I get Edge is going careful what you wish for.
I think that's
why
what
would
it
the
is.
mist make something that's going to destroy?
Because there's
Black?
no laws to the mist.
Okay.
It blinds you. It turns you. It makes you evil.
These are the chances you take when you.
These are your odds. You're rolling the dice. You're getting one of the 3, or you might pull out something
dabble
new.
in mist.
I don't know. You could like it could make you. Maybe you go from being dark to becoming like a Willow type. Like
maybe
there's no laws here.
He should have stuck with green mist. Black mist is like too far.
Green mist wins matches.
Hubris. This is down.
Yeah. I think so. I could see like maybe the thought process from Malachi. And again, this is like headcanon kind of thing. So you like, well, because again, there's no laws to the mist.
There isn't.
Like Black's trying to goad him and become this evil version because he can like he's stooping to Malachi's level, or he's hoping Copeland will like kind of slip up and overdo it, and then he can kind of take advantage.
Or does he want to make him crazy and recruit him?
Yeah, because in my hot evil faction, I want middle-aged Adam Copeland. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep. Amazing.
That's like Don Callis recruiting Jericho.
Going back to the match, I really liked it. I really like O'Reilly's style, and this is like one of those. I like variety, right? So this is different. It has that realistic, like this.
Yeah,
is a couple
like I wasn't
real
able to know
fighters.
much because it's a lot of strikes and like going back and forth, but it is an interesting style to watch too.
And commentary, to their credit, did make mention of that, right? Like this isn't
their
the style you see in all the other matches.
And they always mention like whatever isn't like Black like Muay Thai or something like that.
Yes.
Like or karate or something.
Yes. No, he's Muay Thai. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And so like even though ECW is known for being like extreme and whatever,
variety pack,
they would do lucha stuff. They would do technical stuff. So it was like
they do death matches,
sweet variety, and that's what I like. So I probably like this a lot more than a lot of people did.
Yeah. I wish it got more again, just because like I feel like it's like this is half of the tank, and you could
for sure.
More.
Still pretty cool though. I'm glad to have O'Reilly here as like enhancement talent's not the right word, but you know what I mean.
I think once he gets into faction, like I really want an Undisputed Era revival where obviously we can't have Fish, and that's fine. I don't really care.
No.
Him and Roddy were a great tag team too. Like there's that match against Lorcan and Birch that you love.
Yep.
Which admittedly is very
Lorcan
good.
and Birch. We just saw Birch, remember?
That was weird. Martin Stone. That was weird.
Where was that?
It was on Collision. He lost to Rush.
Right.
It was the Collision we watched in Dailies when it was Phoenix and Tarus.
You were like, are you sure that's him?
Yeah, it is, but like it was so weird. But no, I would like Undisputed Kingdom, if you want to call it that. Minus the Kingdom, minus Wardlow, add in O'Reilly. Like just I want like because they never really got to do Undisputed Era in AEW because remember there's the whole thing with Red Dragon and the Bucks, but then O'Reilly and Cole got injured and it just kind of got axed, and then Bobby Fish left.
Yeah.
and
Too bad.
now he's bald.
Love Red Dragon.
Anyways, I thought this was good. I do like the uniqueness of it, and I think Black a win on TV is great. I would like more solo stuff for him, even if he doesn't win at Double or Nothing. I'd like him to do more stuff on his own because I think Murphy and King could be a really good solid tag team too. Honestly, any combination of them could be a good tag team, but I think Black has the highest solo potential, so I think that's what you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
At least for now, because I can see Brody King doing better things maybe in the future.
I love Brody King.
I did order a figure.
It is cool looking.
Team AEW video package. There's a bunch of highlight clips will dance to talk about how basically the first Anarchy in the Arena nearly ended his career because that was remember he got it was the one where Hager and Jericho choked him out with the turnbuckle or whatever, and then remember he got injured in that match so he couldn't face Sabre at Forbidden Door, and that's when Claudio debuted.
Wow. Nope, don't remember that, but I believe you.
That was the match where it was Mox and Danielson, Santana, Ortiz, and Eddie, and that was the one where Wild Thing played for half the match.
Okay, that I remember.
And then Jas won.
Yeah.
And then Danielson got hurt in that match, so because remember he was gonna face Sabre at the first Forbidden Door.
Oh, right.
He couldn't, and that's when Claudio debuted.
Gotcha.
And Claudio also took his place in Blood and Guts. So
gotcha.
That was the first Anarchy in the Arena. Because I remember 2 years before that was Stadium Stampede.
Right.
Which was Pinnacle, Inner Circle, and then Inner Circle Elite. But anyways, he's entering again because he loves AEW and is protecting it from the Elite. There was more, but that's the gist of it. It was a solid package. Danson's promo bits are always good, and I believe him as the guy who wants to protect AEW just because I know how he operates and it just makes sense for him. So I believe him.
I like that they focused on him basically, right, for this. So for another standard segment on a go home show. But
FTR, they did make the point that FTR were indisposed this week.
Right.
Oh, then we get Saraya and Harley Cameron versus Tony Storm.
Saraya in a match, guys. Hooray!
The first thing I wrote was, what god did I anger to deserve the outcast popping up again? I must have done something to anger someone important.
And Harley Cameron gets a lot of TV time. I'll say it again.
Is this not the third week in a row she's in a match?
Correct.
Last week was
almost
her and
positive.
Tony Storm, right? Let me just double check real quick because I have the.
I'm almost positive it is.
That's 3 weeks in a row. So you can't focus on the women's division, but you choose to spotlight Harley Cameron 3 weeks in a row. 2 of them being singles matches. What are we doing here?
It's a great question.
Also, my point last week when we knew this match was coming.
And I don't even think she's terrible.
I don't think she's good, though.
That's beside the point. A little.
But
just slightly right beside it.
Okay, more to the point.
Yeah.
Storm's feuding with Deeb.
Right.
What does this have to do with anything?
Yeah, nothing.
It's honestly, I don't want to see it, but it would make more sense if Storm was defending against Saraya at the pay-per-view. And I don't want it. I don't want that at all, but it would make more sense.
I think we sort of talked about it. Tony Storm's attention is divided, and it makes Deeb seem lame.
Makes Deeb seem weak. It makes Deeb seem like a chump.
Right. Because Storm's off doing other stuff and not
There's been
this
feud between why are they feuding? I don't even know, but they've been feuding for the last couple weeks because they've been fighting Harley Cameron in singles matches for reasons nobody knows. And then now they're at this. The week, this is your go home and you're doing something completely unrelated to your women's title match. They're doing a triple.
The go home point is strong.
Yeah, they're doing a triple main event building for the pay-per-view. And the TBS title is a part of that.
Right.
They've done a better job building your so-called mid-card women's belt. And on your go home show, you're having Storm do this.
Yep, it's true.
And I'd be annoyed if this was any case, but especially because it's Deeb.
Yeah.
Because Deeb's awesome.
I know, but she's not coming across as awesome.
It is not. It's.
Unfortunately.
I really feel bad because I love her.
Me too.
I think she's great, but they're really dropping the ball here.
Double turn.
Do it. Running shotgun dropkick to Harley from Mariah May. Her dropkick is fantastic.
Really good. Shotgun dropkicks are nice.
They were saying how she's a really good striker, and then she did that after. I was like, yeah. Every time.
She impresses me, I'm not going to lie.
She's it's so explosive is the word. That's genuinely just the best. It's so good. I think May has impressed me. Yeah, but
I had straight up never heard of her, I don't think.
No, but she impressed us from the get-go.
Yeah.
So I'm really pleasantly surprised with her. I could see her having the TBS title.
And we're getting to the
by
point
the end of the year
now where it's
it's
probably not just a fluke or the person she's with. It's consistently she looks good.
I trust her to be not the sucky part of a match. You know what I mean?
Yes, even in matches that aren't great, it's not her that's
when she wrestles Anna Jay or something.
Yeah.
But her dropkick's awesome looking. She had a running knee to Saraya, which I also thought looked solid. Quote unquote riveting offense from Harley as she slams May's head on the mat numerous times. Just the the divas type thing.
That's mean.
And then Saraya does jumping jacks for some reason.
Because she's in shape, like Daniel Bryan. Isn't that his move?
Daniel Bryan? Does he?
I'm pretty sure.
I know Jack Swagger.
She's as good. Sorry, I can't.
Say those straight face.
I can't. I do not mean that.
Draping backstabber to Harley from Storm and a headbutt. Stereo sunset flip power bombs from the Outcast people. Harley pin Storm for 2. Here's an interesting note. Stereo kisses from Storm and May.
That's right.
Because, okay. Storm 0 to Saraya, Mayday to Harley. Storm 0 to Harley for the win. Storm Co. posed with the Deeb Dojo flag, which they stole, and then Deeb attacks from behind with a steel chair, lays Storm out with one of her shoes, and then she locks Storm in the half guard, but like where she's sitting on her back with a steel chair, which I think is a really cool.
Yeah.
Like if you're in a no DQ match, that's an awesome move. Like, because what are you gonna do?
Right.
It's like when you put someone under the ladder rungs and then climb it.
Right.
Like,
they're trapped and you're still in the
and
hold.
it's something like effective, right? Yeah, I really like that.
So my summary was, remember, sexual assault and pile drivers for the win.
Yeah,
basically.
Which I thought was awesome.
So the crowd was chanting "This is awesome" at one point, which I thought was a little bit.
Like they were
aggressive.
chanting. I kept just going like, "What? No."
I thought it was fine. I enjoyed Mariah May.
I don't think it was a bad match, but I was like, really?
It would not prompt me to chant "This is awesome."
I don't even think I would have said that about the opener, and I thought that was a really strong match.
Yeah, and then another post-match attack. Honestly, when they lay out a show, is it like 8 different people, and then
was it not like
a
thing like last
year? It together?
Was there not a thing last year that they were like gonna run things by people to make sure that they did
tally stuff up?
Yeah, like for example, you do distraction roll up finish.
Yeah, there's only
in
one.
A match. That's the one for your show,
right?
Like they clearly don't do that anymore.
It's like, hey, maybe 6,
or maybe it only applies to in match.
Maybe
it only applies to in
post match beatdowns isn't the way to go in 2 hours.
Maybe they're only looking out for that like during matches, and it's like after it's like, oh, we can just whatever you feel like fits.
There has to be something else you can do.
I feel like Will Washington should be watching the in show continuity too. He's like, guys, we just did that.
Exactly. It feels like 8 different people write their own chunk and they just sew it together and nobody looks at it all at once. Sorry if that's Will Washington. I don't mean that.
It's like a quilt.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a quilt, but like you sewed it together from other quilts.
I know what we'll do. We'll have a post-match beatdown. Awesome. No one else could think of that. I'm so unique.
Also, the main event had a DQ finish. So
right.
There's also that. This was fine. It was never going to be anything great. It was fine at best. I don't want Saraya on my screen anymore. I don't want to see your team with Harley Cameron. I don't want to hear the Outcast theme. I don't want to hear their name again. I want the Outcast to die forever so I can purge it from my memory banks. Not die fatally, because that's mean, but I want the group to die a death and not do anything anymore.
I am very curious as to how much money Saraya makes, what they signed her
what their
for.
investment was.
Very curious.
I am too. Because I feel like the only reason Monet isn't the worst investment is because Saraya exists.
Right.
Crowd is saying this is awesome, which was baffling. Finish was fine. Post match was fine too. Deep's extended attack sounded like it drew boos, but she's the face. It almost makes me think double turn, but they haven't done anything to earn that.
Nope.
Because guess what you did instead of building anything? You brought Saraya into my face.
This is estimated that she makes $320,000.
Depends what other people make.
And then also lodging and travel and stuff. But that's I think that's speculation-ish. But anyways.
Bang Bang Gang promo. White says they're gonna have to earn a shot, or something like that. And the Guns challenge Lucha Bros to a tag match on Collision. Solid promo. I thought the Guns sounded quite good here. With White talking most of the time, it's nice to reaffirm that the Guns can hold their own. Like, I'm glad they're like really good now.
And they're on this show a couple times, right? So that's nice. They're getting attention because they needed to be rehabbed after the whole Acclaim thing, and it feels like they are doing that. Yeah. So I'm thankful for that.
And I'm just still pleased at how the Guns trajectory has come.
Me too. They're fun.
I think Bulk Gold's awesome. I remember even when I still wasn't 100% liking them, I knew they were a good fit for this group. Like, 'cause I remember back when it was just White and Juice, and I was like, they were kind of teasing the formation. I was like, that's the right move to do. I was like, even if I don't love the Guns, that's the right fit.
It feels like they're the New Age Outlaws, right? I know I use the DX comparison with them quite a bit.
It does kind of work though. It's like obviously not a 1-to-1 comparison, but like I
that same idea. It's a group of like kind of they just amuse themselves and don't really care about anything else, right? Yeah. And happen to be really good wrestlers.
Exactly. or cheat to get by if they're not.
Right.
Like in the Guns case. Then we come to our main event, which is
say that with a straight face.
Right.
And listen, if anyone's ever going to carry this guy to a good match,
that is what I was thinking.
Danielson. 100%.
I was gonna say Satnam.
And
if anyone's gonna carry Bryan Danielson to a good match, it's Satnam's
been fading lately. You know?
Was he ever good?
Smile. Was he actually good? No, I can't even say that with a straight face either.
It's like the Taya Valkyrie question. It's like, was Danielson ever good?
The Thunder Rosa.
That too.
Is she good? I don't know.
Like I said, the one match I really like was a no holds barred type match, which means nothing because you liked one with the bunny. So
I did. It was good.
It means nothing.
It's good.
Anyways, what a strange main event this is. Such a bizarre choice for so many reasons.
So unacceptable.
Not even to mention that it's Danielson's birthday, so like this is his match on his birthday.
Wow. Poor guy. He probably wanted it.
That's what raises questions for me.
Because he wants to wrestle a bear at some point. So he talks about wanting to wrestle like an actual bear. So, I think if I remember.
Here you go.
Here you go.
Delayed vertical suplex from Singh. Sanjay Dutt accidentally disassembles the announce table. Like he's trying to take the cover off so Singh could like put him through, but then he just like collapsed it.
He got a "you effed up" chant from the crowd.
That was funny though.
Yeah.
Running from the apron from Danielson, and again chokes him on the apron from Singh, which I assume is the placeholder or the replacement. Low blow from Danielson while Dutt was trying to provide a distraction. Then Psycho knee sends Singh into the corner. Gallows like sell on that.
Yeah, it wasn't great. I guess he's huge. Nothing hurts him, but it's like finisher.
Singh goes for a chokeslam. Danielson kicks out. Dishes out yes kicks. Gets chopped. Hammer and anvil elbows from Danielson while he's like on Singh's shoulder. So I thought, well, that's kind of cool. He's like seated on his shoulder and he's doing the elbows. And
yeah.
It did look kind of funny. Danielson gets Singh in the label lock, but Jarrett and Lethal attack him, cause a DQ. Guitar shot. Danielson ducks. Psycho knee to both Lethal and Jarrett. He grabs the guitar, goes to hit Jarrett. Singh punches through the guitar. Bucks music hits, they walk off, they pay off Jarrett and Co. They leave, Bucks continue the assault. Danielson versus EVP Jigger doles out kicks to the Bucks. Okada's music hits, he walks out, Jack Perry attacks Danielson from behind. The Elite bring Danielson up the ramp, Okada takes the cover off the table stage side. Video plays on the Tron, car pulls up, Darby comes out, fist bump to Tony Khan.
What a surprise.
Darby's music hits, he comes out with a flamethrower, as one does. Danielson sends Nick off the stage through the table, baby faces stand tall.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Bucks booking themselves at the last thing on the show again. I guess it makes sense going into the pay-per-view. But again, not Swerve. He's kind of buried in the middle again. But yeah, the match was not great, but there was no chance it was going to be great. It wasn't offensive, I guess, they kept it short. I guess they didn't really have any choice.
It was something.
But he can't sell. He can hit a couple things. Danielson at least really looked like he was laying in the kicks and stuff because the guy can probably just take a beating, right? So you can really kick him as hard as you want.
That's what happens on your
and the size difference at first was super impressive, but then I don't know, like
it's a novelty.
He's limited, so and then the aftermath was the 20th aftermath like that today. So
this was fine, but if we're judging as a main event, it deserves to be held under more scrutiny.
Mm-hmm.
Satnam Singh should be main eventing any show, plain and simple. Danielson made his work as well as he could, but I wish they'd send someone else to try and collect his bounty. Maybe the actual bounty hunter. I don't know who, but just not this group. Post-match stuff was solid. Darby coming out with the flamethrower was a cool visual, and also kind of explains how he got in, because I would assume security don't want to get burned.
By a flamethrower,
yeah. Looking forward to anarchy in the arena because those matches go crazy.
They do. Overall, didn't like this as much as last week. Last week, quite liked, gave a B+, right?
Last week was strong.
Thought it was solid, go home. Main event was just not acceptable to me, so there's marks being lost there for sure.
Absolutely.
Really liked the opening tag. Really liked O'Reilly Black. And then a lot of standard like vignettes and stuff. They weren't bad. I thought like solid, unspectacular. I went B- this week.
Yeah. Solid but not banner by any means. Weak go home, I would say as well.
Wasn't great.
In-ring wise, opener was strong, definitely the highlight. 3A was fine, too short. To catch the side, was a squash that could have been more. Swerve Nick Wayne was pretty good, but could have used a little more. Black Kyle O'Reilly was good. Women's tag was not. Main event was
no, not a main event.
Bullet Club Gold promo was probably my favorite segment. The Death Triangle return. Solid video packages, I thought, but there was like 3, I think.
Yeah.
Swerve Christian, like the car angle I thought was solid. The Elites thing was solid, and the payoff after the main event was good. Pretty average though. I would also went with a B-.
Yeah. It wasn't bad.
Not horrible, but pretty unspectacular.
I agree.
For the most part.
All right, so we'll move into a little break from analysis and try a little trivia. It's what we call off the top of his head. All right, so this week, because seems to be approaching the Wyatt 6 coming. I don't know. I went with some Bray Wyatt trivia this
R.I.P.
week. Right.
I saw his birthday was recently, so
I hope it's not
that made me sad.
Hope it's not disrespectful, but I went with his best and worst matches.
No, I would pay respect just acknowledging him.
So we'll see. I guess that's true, right? So I said...
Plus, he's my boy.
I think it's going in chunks of 5 good, then 5 bad. And again, they could be completely wrong, but that's fun too.
Well, that's why I'm here.
So let's go with the first. They're talking about some of the best. I don't know if they're in ascending order or whatever, but we'll just go through them the way they presented them to me. How should we do about this? I'll say the event, WrestleMania 30.
Cena.
Okay.
I was thinking it's one of his best matches, but that's the one where like everyone says he should have won. Remember
they're
when
saying
Cena
that
beat
was
him?
his first major feud. Is that correct?
That's
yeah,
fair.
You would agree with that?
I mean, his first major solo feud, yeah, because there was the Shield feud.
I think that's what they mean.
Because the Wyatt Shield match is like talked about with great reverence.
It is around here, anyways.
I haven't seen that. I need to see that.
Elimination Chamber 2014.
Shield Wyatt.
That's right.
I need to watch that because I've heard that match like is supposedly great. So
this says solidifying Wyatt's status as a top tier performer. Royal Rumble 2014.
Brian.
Correct. Nothing special. They said there.
That was the one where
he got a clean victory. It says correct.
Yeah, and that was the one where Brian wasn't in the Rumble and Batista won, and then everyone was so pissed that they booed Rey Mysterio at number 30.
People were hijacking shows back then. Yeah,
that was the one that was so bad that Rey Mysterio got booed. That's how you know it's bad.
That's how you know.
Rey Mysterio's at number 30 and people booed him. And you know it was bad when
babyface.
They were rooting for Roman Reigns to win against Batista. I mean, it was Shield Roman, so this is like pre we hate Roman, but still it's surprising.
WrestleMania 33.
That's gotta be one of his worst. That's the Orton match.
It is not in the worst. They're saying weird. That's one of the best, but
that's
you're right.
One of the notorious battles. Remember that's the one where they projected bugs on the ring mat?
It's saying
it's that
I
one.
hated that
one. It's that match.
It's saying despite the match's reception, Wyatt's innovative use of mind games and special effects, no.
That sounds like something WWE would say.
Vince is ChatGPT. He's just sitting now he's got lots of time.
Yeah.
SummerSlam 2019.
That was Fiend's debut against Balor.
That was why it was notable. So that's the debut of the Fiend character.
It was pretty good. It was like that did make him look cool. So
now
I'd say so.
Now we're into 5 worst ones.
The fact that the Mania 33 one escaped the worst is baffling.
Payback 2017.
Oh yeah, House of Horrors with Orton.
Yes, that was terrible.
Stupid. I remember the thing that really annoyed me about that match was it was bad, but I remember. So, because they did the Superstar Shakeup, right? And I think WWE title was on SmackDown, but then Bray got drafted to Raw, so he's a Raw guy challenging for the SmackDown title. But also, they made it known it was a WWE title match. Then Bray won, but it wasn't for the title, but he didn't win the title. Like, so they decided to be non-title. And then that's when, remember, Jinder stole the belt for a bit before he won it?
Oh, yeah.
So
classic.
That was that.
Classic maneuver.
Yeah.
SummerSlam 2013.
You steal a thing, I fight you for it.
That's right. SummerSlam 2013.
Kane, that was the Ring of Fire match. Or Inferno match.
It's saying it was his debut match?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was like his first major thing.
Wow. ChatGPT is killing it today.
Except for the fact that they thought that match was good.
Well done. But
the bug light
facts have all been correct. Opinions, who knows? Because it used to say I can't evaluate good and bad. Now it's like, yup, here you go.
Or it'll just say the bad is good, and that's how they do it.
Extreme Rules 2014.
Oh, I feel like it's Cena.
It is Cena.
Oh, is that the cage match where the child sings and it's got like the distorted voice?
Oh, the match was marred by an overbooked finish involving interference and a child singing. Nice.
Hey, they're getting it. I'll give them that.
They are. Hell in a Cell 2019.
Oh, that's the Rollins one where he got
ended
buried under a pile of stuff, and then the referee called a no contest or something.
Match ended in a controversial no contest decision.
Also, let's not forget, this is when The Fiend was wrestling bathed in red light.
That was awful.
And the cage was
What
red
a
too.
Terrible era that was.
The cage was red. I hated when they made Hell in a Cell red.
I don't know whose idea that was, but if that's Bray Wyatt's idea, then
I can't.
I know it's sacrilege to say he's not a genius or whatever, but maybe not every choice he made was great.
Not every. If that was his choice, then definitely not.
TLC 2017.
That can't be right.
So that's weird because then it says canceled due to illness.
Yeah, that's right.
Planned as the Demon versus Sister Abigail.
Yeah.
So they're just anticipating that was going to be one of the worst.
That was like, fair. Remember he did like because I remember that was one where Balor did like the video on the Tron. He was like that he had the orange demon paint that he never wore, which angered me because I thought it looked really cool because it's like a pumpkin look.
Right.
And then remember Bray had the promo like where
pumpkin looks so cool.
It was actually. It was like a jack-o'-lantern, I guess.
Yeah.
But like Bray had the video on the Tron and like it got story, and then remember he had like crap over his face and like pain. He was Sister Abigail and he had, like, with the weird distorted voice. Yeah. And then that was the show where he got replaced with AJ. Him and Balor had a sweet match. Roman was also sick. He got replaced with Kurt Angle, thus creating the elite figure no one wanted.
Right.
With the Shield Kurt Angle. So remember there was a bunch of Shield Kurt Angles at Toys R Us?
Forever.
But you know what's funny? That was a ringside exclusive.
It was,
and that's the only time I've ever seen a ringside exclusive in a store.
And you saw like 30 of them for years.
And as a big Shield guy, I never bought one once.
You did not. Okay, so we're back to good ones according to this.
Okay.
WrestleMania 31.
That one would be against Taker.
Correct.
I don't know anything notorious about that either way, so we'll give him that one.
They're just saying because it was a legend, supernatural, blah, blah,
sure.
blah. TLC 2014.
Is that Ambrose?
It is Ambrose.
TLC. That was the one
in a TLC match.
I do remember when that one had a stupid finish though, because Ambrose pulled like a TV monitor from under the ring and then it blew up in his face.
Because that's what happens. That's how TVs work.
That is.
Survivor Series 2019.
Brian.
Correct.
I mean, I don't remember much about that match. I remember the strap match more.
Yeah. Battleground 2015.
Roman?
Yeah, very good. I would never get any of these, obviously.
I'm just going timeline on that one. Honestly, that one I didn't know for sure.
It's going to be a tough one to get because it's from SmackDown Live 2017. March 7th.
Cena and Styles?
Not both.
Is it Styles?
Styles is correct.
Okay, because I swear I remember him having a triple threat.
According to them, he defended his WWE championship against Styles.
Yeah, because he pinned Styles last in the chamber when he won the belt, so I think that would make sense.
Gotcha. All right, I guess there's a couple more here. How about Raw, March 19th, 2018?
The Ultimate Deletion?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good.
I mean, I don't remember that being particularly amazing, but I also don't remember it being particularly bad, so
I'll do 3 more. Good luck with this one.
Okay.
Although whatever, you'll probably get it. Payback 2015.
I should know.
This is a deep pull.
Ryback?
Yes.
No way.
The match failed to engage the audience with a slow pace and lackluster
That was just
action.
like
that didn't resonate well.
I was just going like time period and then unnotable.
Survivor Series 15, 2015.
That was him and I think Harper against, or Birdie Lee, if you will, against Brothers of Destruction.
We have our first disagreement.
It's Brothers of Destruction.
Saying Kane.
No, that was because that was Taker's 25th anniversary.
Last one.
Or it might have been him and Strowman, but it was Wyatt's against Brothers of Destruction.
Battleground 2014.
Cena?
No. Well, according to this.
2014.
No longer with the company. Working for competition.
Luke Harper. Oh,
they're saying Jericho.
Probably. I don't know. That just doesn't sound notable, but
it does.
Jericho did a lot of random stuff back then. So.
He did. So you got almost everything pretty easily. If ChatGPT's right, which it seems to be getting better, honestly.
It does seem to be less bad, which is less fun.
These muffins taste
bad.
Okay, so we'll go back into talking about the week of wrestling, anything we saw that was notable from various promotions. So we'll do that now. We call it Highspots and Restholds. Okay, so we'll start with a bit of Raw. I was really quick through it. I watched, I think, 2/3 of it, probably. So good opening promo from Sami Zayn, and that went right into a match between he and Gable.
I think I did see that.
Gable won after some interference from Otis. Io and Lyra Valkyria had a really long match, like 19 minutes and change, I think, with some good stretches in it.
I told you a post that said that was longer than the entire Queen's Crown tournament of 2021.
I remember that was all like
Super
2
short
minutes,
match,
3
yeah.
minutes. But I like parts of this, but I was underwhelmed because if you told me I was going to get a really long match between these two, I'd be pumped. But there was something missing. The crowd was super dead, like really bad. I don't think the match was bad, but something was just off to me. I love the way they're presenting Braun Breaker. I talked to you about this. Did you see? I'm sure you've seen GIFs of him spearing this jobber, like killing the poor guy.
Kale Dixon from NXT.
Right. He's on Level Up apparently sometimes. Yep. But anyways, he, I don't know, took 3 spears from Breaker, and basically later Pierce runs into Braun backstage, and Braun is basically like, I'm pissed because you didn't put me in King of the Ring. And
I like that. He's been like basically on a rampage.
You can't control me. And I thought, it was awesome. R-Truth and Miz are a rest hold for me. Just their whole thing.
Miz is not a babyface, and Truth is
It just feels like an act from an era that is no longer a thing. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't need it. Dragunov is interrupted by Ricochet. Ricochet says they're not done with each other, so that's fine by me because that match was really cool. I told you Gunther did an empty arena promo that I thought was really good. Basically saying that Jey Uso might be like the most over, for lack of a better term, character, but like when the bell rings,
but he sucks.
He's the superior wrestler. So you go ahead, you can have people chant and do your little hand gesture thing, but I'll win the match kind of thing, which I thought was cool because Walter is awesome. And you said he did win, right?
Volta, yeah, he won.
Nice.
There was some weird finish though where he did like a crucifix pin and Orton's shoulder was kind of up. So
controversy. That's a big win for him actually, right? Because Orton doesn't lose a ton.
In Saudi.
Yeah. So NXT then we'll go quickly. Thea Hale and Fallon Henley was the opener. It's one of the North American Championship ladder qualifier matches, and commentary immediately have to go like, by the way, Fallon Henley's a heel. Don't forget, she's a bad guy now.
We don't like her anymore.
Right? Yeah, that's right. No, Booker likes her now.
Booker.
Right?
Booker is now a fan.
Just so you know, we have changed our opinions on her.
It's just like she turned on something. Like, oh, you convinced me.
That's right. Thea Hale's standing moonsault is pretty nice. Henley hit a house call. I only made a note of that for you, so you can shake your head just like that. And then Hale had a good energetic stretch after a bit of a lengthy wrist lock by Henley that seemed kind of weird. Henley gets a chair. Ridge Holland, right, because he's affiliated with Chase U now, takes the chair away from Henley, but that's right when the ref looks, so catches Holland with it. So throws Chase U out, sends them all to the back.
And Holland does have history with chairs. So.
And then that didn't directly lead to the finish, which I was happy. There's a bit in between. So Henley sends Hale into the barricade to break out of the Kimura lock, because I think she kept it locked in from the ring to the floor, if I remember correctly. And then back in the ring, Shining Wizard to Hale, and it's over after about 9 minutes. Jasmine Nix comes out in like a cat suit, basically.
I saw, yeah.
The Pele kick looked okay.
Yeah, but that's not a finisher considering
no.
People do that on the regular.
So we got a post-match attack in the first opening match. It's an epidemic, people. It's post-match attacks all over the place here. Anyways, solid back and forth match. These two are kind of like, it's weird to say, veterans of the show now, right?
Yeah, I guess.
And I guess Henley has to win here, right? Or else what's the whole heel turn for?
Yeah, I guess so.
You can't turn heel and then just start losing. So I think she may actually...
Unless you want to tell the story that she made a mistake.
You think Henley could win?
I could see it, just because she's like tenured enough. Yeah, I could see it. Yeah, that's fair. And she's not the worst.
Remember, we were hoping Julia was in it. I heard that she's going to debut in a match at when we're going.
I heard she's hurt.
I know, but she should be healed by then. It's arm, and that she's still got a month, 2 months almost, a month and a bit.
That gives us enough time.
And that she's going to debut at Heatwave.
I'd take that.
Me too. Sorry. Anyways, the family run into Fraser and Axiom earlier in the day. Fraser talks about how he had won the Heritage Cup as well, and it was super important to him. And then they go out of their way to say, like, they noticed that Axiom's name isn't on the cup. They might have even said, but like a kid's name is or something like that, right? But so yeah, it was kind of funny.
I wonder if they'll ever actually like have him revert back, or if it's just like gonna be this inside joke.
I feel like
I don't think they need to either. Like, I don't think Axiom's bad anymore. Like, 'cause it kind of started out as like a
they've tweaked it because it was like mathematician and superhero combined. So they've really moved away from the mathematician part and just like He's crazy fast. So it ends up, long story short, with a tag title opportunity for Stax and Crucifino, as the babyface champions are more than willing to defend, right? As they should be.
Against babyface mobsters.
And I like Stax and Crucifino. They're my favorite part of this group, and I hope they have a good match, but obviously they should lose because Axiom and Fraser need to keep this title run going. And I didn't know we were getting that match tonight at the time either. We get a second replay of Gallus returning and taking people out last week. Ivar is injured,
legitimately, real bad.
Right. And Briggs and Wesley want Joe Coffey added to the match, which I thought seemed kind of dumb. I know you're mad at the guy and everything, but why are you adding
for
him?
A title opportunity? Yeah.
Right. So anyways, they look dumb.
If there's no stakes, then it's different. It's we can just beat him up.
Ava looks dumb too because she agrees to it over Twitter.
Over Twitter.
Gallus are interviewed basically saying that they needed to make noise to get notice. I swear, and maybe I heard it wrong, that they said they took out Noam Dar. Because remember, he got taken out, last week before? And Mensa had to take that match for him.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe they said they didn't take out Dar, but why would they go out of their way to mention that? Because I don't think anyone's accused them of it. So yeah. I thought I heard them say, and if so, there's a major continuity error. I heard them say they took him out, but I might be wrong. And so far, this is how I prefer Gallus, right? They're not my favorite, but if they're going to be there, they have to be heel, vicious, just a bunch of bullies that roll around, right? And that's what they're doing so far. But yeah, Leon Briggs and Ava all look kind of dumb here, I thought. So we do get the match at Stax and Crucifino taking on Axiom and Fraser for the tag team championships. And you just got home from work, so I think you were in the room for some of this. I thought there was a bit of a sloppy dropkick combo early by the champions. Fraser gets kicked off the apron at one point into the announce table and a diving clothesline off the apron to the floor. I think it was Fraser was lying on the floor. It was almost like the H-bomb, but a clothesline, I think it was. It looked kind of cool anyways.
That's weird picture.
The heels control Fraser for a while. We get a super kick brainbuster combination by the champs that I thought looked cool. Nice Stax superplex. Then Crucifino's trying to come off the top from an opposite corner right after. Deal. And right into, the anti-air super kick from Axiom looked pretty good. So then No Quarter Catch Crew show up to attack Tony D at ringside. And then Fraser hits an inside cradle off of all the shenanigans going on outside the ring. And then the Good Brothers come out, hooray, and we get a post-match attack. Here we go. Take out Axiom and Fraser and hold up the titles. I thought the match was really fun. I did not really like the finish. I thought it was kind of lame. But a lot going on there to end this and after the match. And none of it really interests me because it's Good Brothers. It's the family, right? So even though Stax and Crucifino are cool.
But the gimmick is
not.
It's that.
Robert Stone is back. Remember, I thought her name was Layla Dix. I kept going, Layla Dix? It's Layla Diggs, I think. Anyways, it's someone backstage he's recruiting. Lexis King interrupts because Lexis King would want to be managed by Stone.
I guess, maybe.
I don't know, because he's been so successful. Robert Stone has.
I guess.
Anyways.
They gave him his name back, too.
That's true. So a brief back and forth. Ava comes in, tells King he has a match. He'll find out against who once he gets in the ring, and Stone.
What a reveal it is.
Stone wants to be the one to take the match, obviously, because now he's got beef with Lexis King, but Ava basically tells him he sucks, as my note says, and she'll find someone better, kind of thing. You've had matches and suck.
I did see that.
So, Riley Osborne is no longer on board with Ridge Holland after the chair incident cost the Hail that match. Remember, Osborne was kind of anti-Ridge Holland, came around last week.
I did see this too.
And now things are strained quickly. Oh, you were here for this still, right?
Yeah.
I said ask your thoughts because you were paying attention to this.
Nah.
There's your thoughts. Then we get a triple threat. I think you left for this, unfortunately, because it was pretty good. Wesley, my God, what's Briggs' first name? Josh. And Joe Coffey for a shot at the North American title.
How did you forget?
I don't know. Who knows? I'm old. Leah and Coffey collide around the 11-minute mark, and both end up pinning Briggs, so they both win. Looks like a triple threat, even though Vic, even though Vic can't imagine what they're, he's like, oh, what are we gonna do? We don't have a clear winner. Like, what do they do every single time for the history of wrestling, Vic?
Both people get a shot.
What could they possibly do? Yeah. So that kind of made me chuckle. But I actually didn't write much down, but I thought the match was pretty good. They worked well. Finish, I don't think was ideal, but they want to get to a triple threat. And I think like at this point in Femi's career, even though we think he's doing well, it probably makes sense to put him in triple threats and stuff, right?
Yeah, well, plus like I think it helps hide like what was Paul Heyman saying, like
that's what, yeah,
highlight the positives,
that's right,
or like
downplay
accentuate the positives and downplay the negatives,
that's right.
and plus like it also just creates a different dynamic. Plus the triple threat at Stand and Deliver was awesome. So
I think Femi was on commentary for this, and I will say he didn't do a lot, but it was better than Jack Perry. He disappointed me on commentary, not gonna lie.
Just because his promos have been really good lately.
Right, exactly.
It's a compliment.
Kelly Kincaid talks to Carmen, who just basically quickly puts over Natalia Neidhart, and they're ready to face Baszler and Vice tonight. And just the way Natty spoke here, it really felt like she's gonna turn on Petrovic. And I
don't like the way she talks in promos.
And it feels like she did this exact same thing on NXT. I was having deja vu. I feel like she did this to somebody else. Like came in and was like, I'm mentor. Nope, turned on you. Didn't she?
I can't remember anything.
I think she might have. Anyways, doesn't matter. I was suspicious that it was going to happen. Idris Anafe and Blade is in the locker room complaining about being cursed. Brindley Reese wants them to come out with her because she's super positive, right? And no, you couldn't be cursed, blah, blah, blah. Blade is worried about Anafe's luck. He's like, no, we shouldn't go out with you because everything's bad luck. And Anafe's like, hey, stop talking about it out loud or something. And still a lame gimmick. They're working really hard, but I don't like what fantasy book for me. What's a payoff that makes this worthwhile? That they're unlucky and cursed.
He
wins the lottery. Like
he walks in the parking lot and someone
survives. That's it. Lucky.
Someone drops a rabbit's foot.
He already had a rabbit's foot like 2 weeks ago. Been done. Been there, done
Magic 8-Ball.
I just can't see like a payoff where I'm like, oh, sweet. That was all worth it. So anyways.
I don't know.
And then I told you, Femi, in my opinion, completely botches a segment here with Ava backstage. And I don't know why it wasn't reshot. I don't know if it was live. It's not live, right? Like,
I don't think they do it live.
So I'm almost positive the way it's supposed to go is he's going to come in and he's supposed to say, hey, what's going on with my title match now? Because we don't have after the results of that triple threat, and Ava's supposed to be the one to like shock us.
Hey, it's a triple threat
with the reveal of, well, we looked at the video footage and they did both get a pin, so it's a triple threat, which is what she said. The only problem is when Femi walked in, he goes, so I wrote it down, I think, actually. What's the decision on this triple threat match? I went back and wrote it down verbatim. So it just made everything Ava said afterwards look dumb because she's trying to make it sound surprising when he walked through the door and told us what the reveal was. To be fair, Femi just carried on unrattled.
Yeah, at least there's that.
Or didn't notice or whatever.
Yeah.
So anyways, then like I said, we did get a Jada Parker match. It's against Brindley Reese, who is kind of like Thea Hale light to me still, so not super interesting at this point.
Well, I guess
she tries hard.
Thea Hale didn't turn, never mind.
So we get the teardrop hip check that we talked about earlier. Parker wins in 5 minutes. Booker T says that Reese was on a roll until Anafe and Blade showed up, and I honestly didn't even notice, so I did rewind, and they did in fact walk out on the ramp. So I guess that's the story. Their presence like 50 feet away, and I don't even think
not even getting involved.
And I don't even think she noticed them there. Like they're just there.
Just being in the general vicinity is like bad luck.
That's right. So she lost. I think Jada Parker needs more polish, but I quite like her. She's got this like straightforward mauler kind of offense. You know what I mean?
Needs a finisher.
The finisher's terrible, and I think her attitude's really good and comes across really well. The crowd already have like Miss Parker chants for her and seem to quite like her. So I figured she'd get the win. The match wasn't really anything. Another Wendy Chu tease. Happy to have her back. And apparently I think she was on Level Up and got a very good reaction. So I don't think they're changing the character.
Oh.
Which, unfortunate.
That kind of sucks.
And we'll see, I guess. A solid Roxanne vignette where she talks about it being her and the championship against the world, and that's fine with her. She looks in the mirror and still sees the prodigy, but now 2-time NXT Women's Champion. And I think she's coming into her own here. But she needs a strong babyface rival. I ask you, who can that be? I feel like they want it to be Sol Ruca eventually, but she's not ready.
You could make a case for Thea.
Thea Hale, okay.
She did challenge Stratton the last year, so.
And she is a mega babyface.
Yeah.
To play off the heel.
Build her up.
That's not bad, actually.
Other than that,
like, because he feels like they want it has to be a pretty big deal for Roxanne to lose. So I don't know. Like they'll build Ruka unless they're turning Vice face off of the stuff going on with her right now.
I guess
she works too well as a heel for me. I don't
like, and I don't think,
and I don't care if she gets a good reaction from the crowd.
I don't know why. Like it's like when Toxic Attraction split and like Gigi Dolan's a face just because she got.
Because I remember we talked about that. Like just because you were an awful human and those awful humans ditched you doesn't mean like you're sympathetic all of a sudden, right? What else we got? Ava says that she's spoken to Adam and Nick and everything is set and Roxy will find out who her opponent at Battleground is next week. So because she had to speak to Adam and Nick, does that mean it's someone main roster probably?
I remember I told you I heard Naomi.
Ugh, yeah, you did say that. Wouldn't be my favorite.
Now it seems to add
sounds like it's exactly someone they would bring down. Not back. Was she ever there? No, right?
Not like where she was actually developed. She probably had like a match like back because they used to bring main roster people lunch. Yeah, in like 2013.
Lexus King is in the ring talking about being virtually undefeated in 2024 because I think he's won like a couple matches in a row now, which was kind of funny. Robert Stone comes out, and would you like to reveal who this major return is?
Dante Chen.
It's Dante Chen.
I saw that and I was like, why are they making such a big deal out of it?
Over under on times, they mentioned that he's the first ever Singaporean WWE superstar.
Milked the crap out of that when he debuted on 2.0. I remember because that's when I still watched.
I'm pretty sure they said it 3 times at least.
It's like if he was second generation, like they'd eat that up.
So the crowd is really into this guy. So whether that's something that will carry on or just here, I don't know.
He was teaming with Boa for a while on house shows and stuff.
Boa's gone. So Chen's in control. Anti-air dropkick from King eventually stops him. And then my note says, oh, Chen faced King in King's debut. They point that out. I had forgotten.
Yeah, but that's when he was still jobbing. He also jobbed to Breaker on SmackDown.
Right.
Like,
long story short, inside cradle off the coronation. I think Stone got on the apron maybe at one point.
Stone's baby.
Dante Chen wins. Interesting decision. And to be fair, like Lexus King is pretty boring and not a good wrestler. So he could be moved to the back burner or just be a guy that is a good antagonist but always loses. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he's not good in the ring, man. This is where I'm past the point of like, is he even good? He's not. He's not good.
Not like his dad.
Shayna Baszler backstage with Vice.
Yeah.
And she wants Vice to be all business in the ring. And Vice says she is once the bell rings, but she also likes to have fun. And Baszler,
that's why she's turning babyface. She likes to have fun.
She likes to shake her butt. That's basically what she means there. Baszler rolls her eyes, gives a look. So now I'm like, oh man, this feels like a split's coming here too. So can't be both teams. So I wonder which one of them is going to split because it seems like
that's like Baszler's like, I don't shake my ass.
And then I have give me evil Baszler !
Yeah, but she's just going to get chumped and then go back to main roster where she'll continue to get chumped.
Sounds like it. Trick to the ring to speak. He's mad at Noam Dar. He says he didn't attack Dar. And this is where I'm like, didn't Gallus already admit to doing that? What's going on? So I don't know. Trick doesn't have to try so hard to convince us because we have already had someone tell us they did it, I thought.
And now I'm confused.
Metaphor minus Dar come out, and they think that Trick did attack Dar, other than Lash, of course, because she defends Trick. Like, how, why? Anyways, we're still pulling that thread, I guess. Joe Coffey comes out and talks while Wolfgang and Mark Coffey attack Trick from behind. Javar Evans is the only one to come out and help. So, Javon Evans to help Trick. Numbers game, Gallus stands tall. So, sorry, Joe Coffey's in the orbit for North American and NXT Championship all in one show now? Because he's got a North American title shot.
Gotta catch them all.
I guess so, right? So, I don't know. So, obviously a strong return for Gallus because they're thrown into like title programs all over the place, I guess. But we'll see where it goes. Ava reveals that Robert Stone was the one that convinced her to give Dante Chen the match. And she says that Stone has, quote, made a star tonight. Jury's out on that, I think. Sure. I said maybe pump the brakes on made a star a little bit. Looks like Chen's going to get some attention at least. What role will
Which is so random, but I mean, I guess.
Main event was Baszler and Vice taking on Natalya and Carmen Petrovic. Natty's isolated by the heels early. Baszler's just targeting whoever arm she can get a hold of. Petrovic then is isolated for a bit. Lola hits a tornado kick to Natty, and then takes the time to shake her butt before going for a sharpshooter, and that allows Natty to reverse it. So exactly what Baszler said not to do.
Foreshadowing.
Right? Leads to a problem.
That in the biz is what we call foreshadowing.
Baszler gets taken out. She ends up on the floor. We get a heart attack to Lola Vice, and it's over after 11 minutes. Then afterwards, all of a sudden, I think it was like Baszler picked up Vice, and then Vice kicks Baszler in the head.
Because Baszler will never get one up on anyone.
And that's true. And dances around her. Vice continues to dance on the apron, and Baszler just sort of rises up behind her. It was actually a cool visual, and like chokes her out while looking really psychotic as a bunch of refs come in.
But like,
yeah,
she's gonna lose.
Of course. Ava comes out, makes a match between Baszler and Vice at Battleground.
Underground.
Baszler grabs a mic and is just like, nah, Underground. So I said, is Jack ready for Baszler to put Vice over on PLE?
She could put over worse people? ...
Who is the baby face here?
Not Baszler. Baszler should never be
Baszler got attacked by her partner.
Baszler should never be a babyface, ever.
I know, so how does this work?
Not babyface.
Maybe
Baszler.
No one needs to be one in the Underground.
Baszler just like, it's so hard to get excited about her now.
Everybody's a heel in the Underground.
Like, broken my spirit.
I know, and she's so damn good.
Because I love...
Like,
she's
her...
amazing.
Popping up, putting that choke on, and her face was awesome.
She's got a crazy facials when she does the Kirifuda.
As someone who wants believability in their pro wrestling, she brings it.
Plus, and like the amount of effort they put into Rousey, and she just sucked so hard.
I know.
And they could have everything they did with Rousey, they could have done with Baszler. And like obviously, except for being a babyface, but like the amount of effort they put in, they could put into Baszler, and it would have yielded far better results. It's baffling.
Now that Lesnar's gone, leave her in NXT for a bit. She comes back with Heyman as her mouthpiece, as Lesnar, as she should be, and she kills people all the time for a long time.
We've been saying this. It's not hard to make her awesome. It's not
Heyman
hard.
Would be perfect for her.
It would. She can talk for herself. I don't even care.
But even if she can, because she's pretty decent, I still think the silent killer with somebody to talk for her would be amazing.
Yeah, I'd take it. It's really not hard to make her a killer.
Yeah. Sorry, I'll move on to TNA. I did cherry pick it. Most stuff, but not everything. Nemeth and Matt Hardy. Sorry, Ryan Nemeth. So, like Nick Nemeth light, right?
Yeah, the guy from the Wingmen was their faction, right? With Peter Avalon and Cesar Bononi.
Yeah, Cesar Bononi.
Yeah.
So they beat the system.
It was them and someone else. I swear there was someone else.
With a twist of fate to Edwards and a high cross body pin Brian
Ricky
Myers.
Steamboat.
Match is nothing special, and we have ancient Matt Hardy and nobody Ryan Nemeth beat the tag champs clean in 7 minutes. I don't know. Ryan Nemeth.
That makes sense to me.
And it's like Ryan Nemeth basically does the same moves as Nick Nemeth, so it really is like you're just watching a photocopy of him.
It's like a Dolph Ziggler that you don't want.
It's weird. Yeah, it's strange. After the match, obviously, the system jumps Hardy and Nemeth because we have to have beatdowns after every match in every company. My God. Moose comes in to take out Hardy. Nick Nemeth runs in for the save. It's not even their fault. So Dolph Ziggler is there. He makes the save.
Yeah, it's the Nemeths versus the system for the tag titles, I think I saw.
Amazing. So Gia is talking to ABC, sort of bringing up the tension between them. Bay seems to be one of like, there isn't tension. It's like brothers. We have issues, but we're fine. And then Gia brings up another example, and Ace basically admits they haven't been on the same page, and he thinks the best way to get on the same page is to fight each other. So we're going
that way, works.
Which is a cool match, so whatever.
That's true.
Matt and Ryan Nemeth will get a tag title shot for beating the system, but Matt has his eyes on the TNA championship, so this makes sense. Fine, you have a title shot, and we'll just bring in Nick to substitute for the tag shot. So even though Nick Nemeth had nothing to do with any of this,
wouldn't it make more? They should have had them in this match because it makes sense that the brothers team together, but it's just like
they're not the ones that just won the match.
Nemeth should have been in this, or Nick should have been in this.
Matt beats the tag champs and gets a singles shot, and a non-team get the title shot just because. Okay, good job, Santino. The Rascals. Did you hear who they defeated? Good Canadian boys. You've never heard of probably. Sinner and Saint.
Oh, yeah.
They do have real names too, but
I know. Judas Icarus is one of them.
Okay, it is Icarus, right?
Had the Smash tag belts.
They're kind of cool.
I don't know if they still have the belts, but I know they
definitely
did.
Indie feel, but they can
I
go.
do actually know who that is.
So they're quick. They showcase a bit of double team offense. The Rascals do the same thing, plus take shortcuts, right? So the Rascals win in under 5 minutes. But I thought Sinner and Saint got a decent amount in and looked pretty good. So who knows if we'll see them again. Apparently, they're like a Western indie team. Macklin comes out afterwards to beat down the Rascals because we have to have a beatdown. I don't understand. They're trolling me now. Is Macklin a babyface here? I don't. This whole Rascals
His corner thing looks lame,
and him doesn't make sense to me. Macklin later backstage
or whatever
says he's done with the Rascals and wants Santana. Santana walks up and says that's fine. The crosshair is cool. He did it to both of them this week, right?
It looks lame.
Kaz berates Jade Chung at ringside and announces he's leaving the building. So you won't get this, but he's doing an Elvis Presley gimmick now.
What?
He wore those glasses.
Kaz?
He called himself the king.
Frankie Kazarian.
He would have people announce Elvis has left the building.
Kaz is
correct.
Kaz.
Correct.
Like, is he talking like Elvis or no?
No.
Okay, I was gonna say, because if he's like,
but he's got a scarf, which was an Elvis thing. The glasses, calling yourself the king. There's like 4 things. There's no way it's a coincidence.
That's
best gimmick ever.
Can't be worse than Octopus.
So Diener kind of passes him on the ramp. Diener calls out Jake something, tries to make up with Jake after their thing last week when Jake killed him. Jake hesitates. I don't understand why the hesitation. I thought clearly he attacked Diener last week. Anyways, good hands come out. Diener and something end up taking the good hands out. And here comes Santino to make a Kentucky Fight Club match now.
What does that mean?
Do you want to know what it means? Absolutely nothing. What would you think it means?
You've hit each other's buckets of chicken? I don't know.
I would just think it's some sort of no rules, whatever, no DQ. No, it's nothing. I couldn't tell you what it meant.
Okay.
It meant absolutely nothing.
It's just a tag match.
So we do get that match. It was fine, kind of basic. Final couple minutes were better. 10-minute match. Jake something reuniting with Diener. So something hit the void and they won. But anyways,
what was their tag name? It was just they're just the Dieners, right?
So this feels like 2 or 3 steps back for Jake something, right? Who they bring in and he looks like an awesome, crazy powerhouse, like powerhouse of the X division. Mustafa Ali is like, I don't want him in the and now it's like, nope, you're back with cousin Diener. I don't know, man.
He was cousin Jake actually.
Is this the Cody Diener odd couple thing? I don't know. Yeah, he was cousin Jake and Diener. Cody Diener. That's right.
Yeah. He had a first name once.
He did. KFC stipulation meant nothing. Good hands still cheated behind the ref's back. Like they had felt the need they had to sneak in the cheating. So I don't know what the stipulation was. Joe Hendry crosses paths with the system backstage. He says he'll face Eddie Edwards next week. And I think you have to elevate Hendry to a top babyface at this point.
What else can you do with him?
Yeah, and he's popular right now.
And if you're scrambling, if you're screaming to Matt Hardy for a top babyface, I feel like you just give Hendry a chance.
The crowd likes him. He's doing that comedy in his segments, but can wrestle for real. And is by TNA standards, he's a freaking powerhouse, man. Like his power moveset is really good. So I think they have to elevate him. Knockouts title, Jordan Grace versus Marty Bell. Check out the first name on Bell, eh? Ash's concierge comes out. Ash is out. He has a mannequin with her face basically taped on it that he brings out instead of her. And I have Marty Bell deserves a title match because, anyways, Grace retains surprisingly.
She's from NWA, I think.
She is. And I think looks like she might be in TNA right now too. Juggernaut driver in 4 minutes. Grace retains. Nothing special. I hate that. Grace and Ash is clearly where we're going right now.
That's never gonna be good.
I feel no more excited for that than I was for Marty Bell.
That's never gonna be anything good.
Who's Bell's partner?
Allison K.
Correct.
Yeah.
What's their team name?
Hex.
Yeah. So Allison K comes down, jumps Jordan Grace because post-match attacks are the only thing we know.
Post-match attacks? No, they're in right now.
They are so hot right now.
Yeah.
Even hitting her with the mannequin. So I don't know if the Hex are in TNA now, but it seems like we're investing some time and energy. So maybe even just for a cup of coffee or whatever. Actual tag team. That's cool to have.
That is true. They have 3.
So they hit their tag finisher. I forget what it was. Some combo thing. To Jordan Grace, and then they hug. Grace is left lying and no one helps her for whatever reason. So Santino updates us that referees will be wearing gloves and a mask when working Gresham matches. Because everyone's coughing up black goo, but the wrestlers don't worry about them, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
It's interesting, yeah.
That's a word.
Jody threat, Tasha Steelz. Steelz wins with a cutter in under 5 minutes. Lars Fredrickson is still around and involved.
It's like
he's a band guy, right?
An off-face bad luck affects anyone. It's just like the aggressive, it's just anyone, and then it's black goo.
Black goo, that's it. The crowd is not great on this episode. Another short, bland match gets Tasha Steelz a win, I guess. Main event was a lot better. It was Mike Bailey, Trent Seven. So Speedball Mountain collides for an X Division title shot. Mustafa Ali comes out halfway through this match as like doing the politician thing. Easily the best match on the show, about 20 minutes. But did I tell you the finish? Who came in? Champagne Singh is the big return. He crotches Bailey, leading to the finish. I don't know, man. It was I think it was a Burning Hammer that won it. A second. Oh wait, there's a Burning Hammer on the apron that looked
Burning
really
Hammer. Burning Hammer was the double team.
Right. Burning Hammer on the apron looked good. Anyways, few slower bits along the way, but really good main event and very entertaining. So, and then we did not watch any SmackDown at all. We did not watch whatever was going on in Saudi Mania over there. So you said you do have a little bit of figure talk, so we'll get to that right now. Our final segment, it's Figuring It Out with Jack. We did momentarily forget about doing our preview and predictions for Double or Nothing, so we'll do that after this because I don't want to have to move things around in post.
Yeah.
So tell us about figures. You said you ordered a couple. Yeah, I think I remember what they are.
Because I think it was yesterday. Yeah, they revealed ringside exclusive Jay White figure for AEW. And it
looks cool.
It looks sweet from the renders, and his red and white gear, which he just wore on Dynasty's the pre-show, so it's recent. But he also wore it at full gear against MJF. And then in the Forbidden Door foray, which was with Cole Okada and Hangman.
Right.
It was too good to get, so I actually did pre-order it. And living in Canada, we don't order from Ringside a lot, and I don't think I've ever pre-ordered something when it's been announced. So
but you did it.
Such as the allure of Switchblade. So yeah, I ordered that, and I also I think I got a basic Carmelo haze because I wanted it, and then because I also really wanted the new Pete Dunne or the Butch figures, but because Ringside does it whatever the latest thing shipping is, they all ship at once. I think the Jay White's to October or something.
You'll be waiting forever.
So I had two different orders. So I got both versions of Pete Dunne, which was from Elite 1 and 10, which one was the white, blue, and red from Money in the Bank last year, and then the other was a green and gold one, I think.
Yeah.
And then I also got the Blood and Guts 2-pack of Brody King and Darby Allin from the Coffin match.
Yeah, Brody King.
So we got that. So we got some things coming in, hopefully, eventually.
Nice.
The Dunne order should be in June, I think.
Nice. Anything else?
I don't think so.
All right, so we will end this segment, and then we'll come right back.
Now we'll do it
with our Double or Nothing preview and predictions. All right, I have put a little bit of thought into this. I didn't write anything down, but I have thought a little bit. So go ahead. Tell me what I'm predicting.
First up, Orange Cassidy versus Trent Beretta. I feel. I messed up the column. I'm gonna change
Orange Cassidy and Trent.
I feel like Cassidy has to win, and you could do some shenanigans with Callis to further that storyline.
Yes.
I just don't Trent should win. He could win, but I just don't know what you do with Trent. So
I will take Trent, and I don't know. I would say Chuck Taylor comes back, but apparently he's maybe never wrestling again or something. So
yeah, I could see Trent winning.
But I just feel I don't think a loss hurts Cassidy a ton, and it could be through shenanigans.
I was thinking that too.
And it feels like you said, Trent should win this. So I'll take it, even for picking something different. I'll take Trent.
Storm versus Deeb for the women's title. Deeb hasn't been built up. They've done a really crappy job with this. I'd love nothing more to be wrong, but Storm wins.
Storm wins. I hope for a double turn and run it back. I don't know. That's the best thing I can hope for.
Hayter makes a surprise return.
Hopefully a good match, right? Could be a very good match, but yeah, Storm retains. I agree.
Strong versus Ospreay. I feel like it has to be for the international title. Yeah, I feel like it has to be Ospreay. I see no reason why Strong needs to or should be the one to break Ospreay's undefeated streak. Additionally, Undisputed Kingdom suck butt, and they're a dead act until Cole comes back, and even then, I don't know what's gonna happen then. Ospreay can elevate the title because it's something worthwhile to do until he loses it.
I enjoy Roderick Strong, and I haven't even minded the championship run, but he is part of a very dead end group.
Suck butt.
And Will Ospreay is awesome, and he is not losing yet. So even though this title is beneath him, he's winning it.
Yep. Then we get Bullet Club Gold or Bang Bang Gang versus Death Triangle, possibly for the titles. At time of writing, it wasn't a title match.
I think it is, but I don't know.
They said it wasn't. On Dynamite,
really?
Excalibur made sure to point out that it wasn't, but he said it could be since Lucha Bros versus Guns is on Collision tonight. So we're gonna operate under the assumption the Lucha Bros win and it's a title match. Because why wouldn't it be a title match? Come on. With that being said, I think Bullet Club Gold should retain here. I think they're a super entertaining group. I think they could do good with belts. If the Acclaimed held it for a ridiculously long amount of time, give the Bang Bang Boys a decent run. And Death Triangle have had the belts before, and the loss won't hurt them because it's Death Triangle.
Yeah.
So I think Bullet Club will get a win here, and they keep going run. You could run this back again too. Like I got no problem with that, but I feel like Bullet Club will deserve a run here because I don't think White's gonna get a lot of singles success yet, just with everything going on. So I think this is a good thing for him to do. And I'm gonna keep saying until it happens. Maybe Juice Robinson helps them win. That's another one I mentioned a lot.
I agree. Bullet Club Gold for pretty sure retain. They seem to be getting a lot of attention. Death Triangle's I know they've previously existed, but they're just kind of thrown together right now with no story at all, really. So I don't think this is a title change. It wouldn't make sense. So it's Bullet Club.
Mox Takeshita in the IWGP World Heavyweight Title Eliminator. Yeah. Making Eliminator telegraphs the outcome for me. Takeshita gets a big singles pay-per-view win. He can lose the title match at a later date, which is fine. Gets Takeshita a big win and primes him for maybe after one more singles feud, he could take the title from Ospreay.
I almost want to take Moxley just for the sake of taking something different, but I won't. I'll take Takeshita just out of hope as well.
Yeah. I mean, you did take him against Ospreay too, which was bold.
I know. I'm a bold man, okay?
Jericho, Shibata Hook for that FW title. Regrettably, I don't see Jericho losing yet.
Really?
And I feel like they're gonna do more with this. Maybe someone else joins the learning tree here. Like I feel like there's more for them to do. I don't want more, but it just seems like we're doing more here.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I don't see Hook having the title again would just make it go back to nothing, and Shibata does not need this belt. Like Shibata already is kind of out of place in these hardcore matches, so he's not winning it.
I think Hook's getting it back. I'm just like,
I don't think so. I feel like you build up a singles match because now they're 1-1, so you build up another singles match.
You got me. I'll take Jericho. Gross.
Yeah, I don't want to pick him either. Copeland versus Malachi Black, barbed wire steel cage for the TNT title. I think it's tough. My gut feeling is Copeland because House Black don't tend to win the big ones, but I feel like Black's been booked pretty strong in this one. Yep. I'm not sure where to go. Copeland also has to bend the knee to the house if he loses. I don't know if I see that happening, so I'm gonna go with the safe pick, which is Copeland, but I'm okay with being wrong.
I'll take Malachi Black. I think
I know you thought he was winning, so that's also why I was like, yeah.
I think it's time. Mm-hmm. They need to either do something with him and his group or not, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Find out what we got because they're cool.
Willow versus Monet for the TBS title. I really hope I'm wrong here.
Me too.
But it's Monet.
Agree. Statlander turns if you want to add details.
I could see that too. I did put that down.
Helps Monet and his Monet is like muscle.
Maybe.
Possibly. But turns for sure.
Yeah.
The rest, I don't know.
Swerve versus Christian for the AEW World title. Swerve wins. Christian's a solid placeholder, but he's got no real shot.
Correct. 100%. They're not having Swerve lose yet.
That would be
no chance.
Interesting. Finally, Anarchy in the Arena, which is the Elite versus Team AEW. It's a little tricky for me. On one hand, Darby's came back, and Team AEW should give the Elite some comeuppance. But on the other hand, newly are on a roll. I feel like a win would help kind of cement them because Okada's still kind of new. Perry's new back. So I'm not 100% sure, but I'm leaning towards the Elite here, so I'm gonna go with them.
I agree. They're not stopping this whole Elite takeover,
right? Because I feel like Team AEW winning kind of halts like the Elite takeover thing, and yeah, it feels like it's still like in its infancy.
Right. There's no like them losing in this match. Like, where do you go from
there?
So, right? So I think they win to keep momentum
for sure.
All right, that hoping the card looks pretty good, right?
So
I'm hopeful for a good show. We will definitely check it out.
We always watch them.
If we love it, we'll record
if we have time
early.
too, because we love Dynasty, and that we didn't even do that.
But more than likely, it'll be on to episode 202. It'll be tacked on the front end of that. But anyways, that is going to bring us to the end of episode 201. Thanks for joining us. Contact us through any way you would like. If you can, we'd love to hear from you. If you have any ideas of stuff you'd like us to cover or do, or just any thoughts on the show in general. We'd love to hear from you. We will definitely be back next Saturday, probably a bit earlier than this for episode 202. And until then, everybody, take care.